I get fucking comfortable. Got a drink. Yeah, Chewy, the Hairy Face Gamer is live.
Days. Right. It doesn't look like it's live on my side yet. Wait for this to start.
Chewy, the Hairy Face Gamer is live.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
It is good. Right. Hey, Flaw. That's hey there. Hey Jane, how you doing? Okay, guys. So something a little bit different from Chewy, the Hairy Face Gamer. Let me get my microphone so you can actually hear me properly. Good thing about this is I can sit it right in front of my face because you guys can't see me. Boom. Right. So basically, guys, the idea of what we are doing here. Hey, Mr. Mac. The idea is, well, in fact, it's Jakey's idea. He came to me midweek and he said, Chewy, do you fancy doing like some sort of Premier League show where like we talk about some transfers and this, that and the other? And I said, you know what, that sounds like a fantastic idea. You know, we've done something similar before when we've been playing Rocket League and it got a hell of a lot of people involved in the live stream and it got a hell of a lot of people talking to us that we didn't and never met before.
I think we started talking about Leicester, didn't we?
We started talking about Leicester, I believe you're right. And how well they were doing, and we were both saying that it will never last for that season. They ended up fucking winning it. Hey Ricky, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Long time no see. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Jane. Thanks a lot. I'm very good. I'm very good. Hey, how's it going, Tommy? Fucking hell, we got 9 people watching now already, Jakey.
We've already got loads. Why is 9 people? I've never seen that in a stream.
Oh, we're up to 10. So yeah, basically the idea is it started really small. Me and Jakey were just going to talk about some transfers, and I said, you know what? We could probably make this a little bit bigger, Jakey. We could probably do a weekly show. To his Nick Crompton. We could probably do a weekly show where we talk about the headlines and the scores of what's been going on in the Premier League. We're going to focus on just the Premier League purely because I've got a funny feeling that that's going to take long enough of an evening anyway. I mean, tonight's show is going to be pretty damn big, guys, because our predictions went from just predicting who was going to be in the top 6 to now we've got fucking predictions coming out of our damn ears.
Yep.
Literally, the show has literally blown up in the space of like 2 to 3 days. All good ideas. I hope that all of you will agree. Okay, so without further ado, guys, episode 1 is going to be about predictions. Now, we will be starting off by talking a bit about transfers. That's not transfer predictions. It is current transfers, which is what we were going to do to start with anyway. Yeah. The latter part of the show is going to all be about predictions. We're not going to spoil anything to let you know what the sort of predictions we've got going on. We will just crack on with the show, and hopefully you're going to enjoy, guys, and stick around. Ads is in. Jake, you should stream at a reasonable hour, especially for us old people.
I'm not streaming.
That's true. Jake is not streaming, ads. It is Chewy streaming. Right, without further ado, guys, let's get the next one up. So, transfers. Okay, so we're not just going to talk about these guys that you see on the screen right now. We are going to go through all the teams because, as Jakey said himself, he's a little unsure if any of the smaller teams have actually made any transfers. We're mainly going to talk.
Made transfers. You just can't think of what they have
can't think
made.
Really are. That's the problem about the smaller teams, isn't it? Really, I mean, not so much that you forget about them. Just obviously, some of the players are a lot more unknown, shall we say, so we don't really take too much of a notice of them until they're effectively up and running and playing. I think you're probably the same, right, Jakey? I mean, let's be fair. Who heard of Mahrez before he was playing for Leicester? You know, and he turned out, you know what I mean. He turned out to be an absolute sick player.
Kante or whatever,
Kante's another one, and they turned out to be fantastic players. Let's be fair. Credit where credit's due, Mr. Mahrez. You are a decent player.
So we want to start.
I've just moved the stream, so bear with me, guys. Let me just move the stream out of the way so I can see your comments. Don't forget to like the stream. Thanks very much for us. Yeah, liking the stream would be lovely, guys, if you are enjoying it. I mean, damn. 10 people watching. I'm not even playing games.
So we've already got a prediction in here. Tommy Plays has gone City 1st, United 2nd, Chelsea 3rd, and Arsenal 4th.
I like that, Tommy. That's not. Do you know what, mate? That's not a bad. That's not a bad shout. Not
I
a bad
think
shout. I like
actually,
that.
it's
First City,
not too
second.
similar
It's
to
very
mine, eh?
similar to yours, isn't it? Only you've had Arsenal. I think you're. Well, let's not
I've got
spoil anything,
Tottenham.
Jakey.
Let's
Let's
not
not
spoil
spoil
it.
anything.
No.
We're spoiling. We're spoiling.
Go on, stay on topic.
Stay on topic. We'll be here all night, Tommy. Right. So we're gonna obviously go in alphabetical order, guys. Right, we're going with Arsenal. So let's talk Arsenal. So before we start with this, Jakey, I think we need to make people aware that Chewy is obviously an Arsenal fan.
Chewy is an Arsenal fan.
Jakey is a United fan.
Everyone's a boo. Yeah, I like trophies, whatever.
Yeah, Jakey likes trophies. He likes silverware. I mean, let's be fair. If anybody likes trophies, it's Chewy. So if Chewy should probably be a fucking Man United fan and not an Arsenal fan, eh? I mean, that drought of trophies for fucking 10 years was dire fucking bollockable.
We've got FA Cups or whatever.
Yeah, we have now, but we had like a 10-year stout of nothing.
Yeah.
I think the Emirates Cup was the only fucking thing we won. Does that count?
Yeah. So, we got... so we got the Arsenal transfers. We got the ins, obviously, Lacazette. What was that? I've got undisclosed here, but it was about 52
mine's undisclosed.
million.
I thought it was 45, but
45.
we're saying it's going to be 45
differently.
to 52.
Something like that.
Something like that. Hey, Craigie boy, how's it going, dude?
In my opinion, I think it's slightly overspent on him. Slightly. I reckon maybe 35 to 40. He's proved himself in Ligue 1, but you see what Ligue 1 players can do compared to in the Premier League. Like Di Maria, he wasn't the best in the Premier League. He go into Ligue 1 and was flying. I know he was playing for PSG, the best team in there, but you know, that's my opinion on Lacazette.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Wait, hang on a minute. Ricky's saying, Chewy, where are you? Can you not hear me in the stream?
I don't know. Maybe it's your face, isn't there?
Oh, maybe it is that my face isn't there. I mean, I presume people can actually see me though, right? Yeah, I'm sure Jane replied to me when I said, hey Jane, how are you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure people can hear me. Let me just double check this. I will just unmute it. Yeah, I'm sure Jane replied to me when I said people can definitely hear me. Okay, so great start. Yeah, I'm not going to show my camera, Ricky, just purely because we tried to get something going where we could get Jakey's camera involved as well. It's proven to be a failure at the moment, but I'm sure at some point if Jakey was to get like
doesn't have a USB.
Yeah, so if Jakey was to get like a webcam, we might be able to do this stream over Skype, which feasibly could work. But we'll have to cross that bridge when it comes. Okay, yeah. So that's a valid point on Lacazette, mate. I personally was not so happy when the first rumours come around. Arsenal need, in my opinion, a prolific goal scorer. How many of those prolific goal scorers are available is probably none. Let's be fair, like a Griezmann or a Suarez, a Aubameyang. They're either not available or not the sort of money that Arsenal are willing to pay. Alexander Lacazette for 45 to 52. I mean, again, mate, I had to go and look at some stats because I weren't sure how he coped in League One anyway. But it actually turns out that he's only got
20 goals a season.
Yeah, he's only got in the last since 2014, mate. There's only 5 guys above him in the whole of Europe for scoring more goals, which is like the likes of Messi, Ronaldo, Kane. Believe it or not, he was 5th.
Still below Tottenham.
Still below Tottenham, yeah. But yeah, I'm excited about him now. I've seen him in pre-season. He looked very, very bright against Chelsea. I think that 45 to 52, whichever this undisclosed fee is probably a little bit too much. But only because, like you say, I'm worried about the fact that he's come from League One. French players never tend to do well from League One in the Premier League, as far as I'm concerned.
You got to remember the league's a lot more physical in England than what they are in France. I don't watch much French football.
I don't either.
All I know is Monaco won it last season and PSG comes second. and I
Yeah.
don't even know who comes
Leon have had a
that's
torrid time, mate, in the last couple of
Leon,
years.
yeah.
They've had a torrid time, and they were the team to beat, weren't they? Not so long back in France.
Leon, yeah, I remember Leon. Yeah,
So
they're always up and around there, and Nice are up and around there now as well. But
right.
yeah, it's just one of those things that just sort of forget really about the French league because it's been behind for so long.
Not bad, mate. Hope you're okay. My prediction is Man United all the way to win the Premier League. Paul's just put sounds very, very biased, Craze. He does do well on Football Manager, scores a bucket load in the Prem. Oh, there you go. So Lacazette on Football Manager is the way forward by the sounds of things.
Yeah,
we will see. Only time will tell.
Yeah, and the other big name is Kolasinac. I can't actually see him on my list, but I know it's definitely.
Yeah, I've got him on mine, and I know that we definitely got him in for a free. I've got to be honest, he was one of those names that I saw he's from Schalke, so I was like, all right, okay, fair enough. Big German guy, I presume.
Yeah.
He's not actually German himself, is he? He's
Bosnian,
isn't he? I tell you what, mate. I didn't know a lot of him. I've seen him in every single pre-season so far, and this boy looks fucking good. For a free as well. Why no other top European clubs have actually signed him? I'm guessing no one else was watching Schalke. We probably only know what he's like because of our time watching fucking... What's his name? Draxler, yeah. We probably only know what Kolasinac is like because of watching Draxler for fuck knows how long and not bothering to fucking give him the money they wanted for him. Typical Arsenal. So that's probably the only reason why Arsenal got him on the free is purely because they probably seen that he was a decent player, saw he was coming out of contract and went for it. And I'll tell you what, most people probably saw him in the Community Shield recently. He come on as a sub, and I'll tell you what, I thought he was probably one of Arsenal's best players. Arsenal were very, very good in that game, in my opinion anyway. It was very similar to the FA Cup. Chelsea just did not fancy it for some reason. I mean, they just did not turn up. Yet, in Asia, 2 weeks prior, Chelsea give us a thumping in Asia, mate. They absolutely battered us. I mean, we didn't even have a sniff. But it was complete roles reversed in that Community Shield. I thought Kolasinac was brilliant. The good thing about him as well is he plays that left wing-back role, which looks like how Arsenal are going to set up this season with the three at the back. He plays it so well. I think it's a fantastic signing, considering it's a free, and he looks fucking brilliant, if I'm honest. Job well done as far as I'm concerned on Kolasinac.
I mean, to me, he was relatively unknown. I had signed him before with on Football Manager, and I signed him at Southampton, believe it or not.
Nice.
He did look a good player, and I also have an interesting fact about him. I don't know if this is true or not, but I think he scored the fastest ever own goal in the world. Sorry, he scored the fastest ever own goal in a World Cup.
Well, there you go. Let's hope that there's none of that. Let's hope there's none of that. Let's hope there's none of that. Fastest goal in the Europa League. Cheers, then. Yeah,
World
luckily
Cup.
he's already put one in the right end, so I suppose we can... Hey, how's it going, Adam? Well, oh, God, Tommy's going on here. 2 seconds, Jakey. We better read some of these messages. I know how also Chewy being in Europa League is hard to bring top class players. Yep, totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Champions League away. Liverpool don't have good squad depth, in my opinion. They're sick. Yeah, we'll get to Liverpool in a minute. I mean, to be honest with you, Tommy, what you're saying there, I think pretty much. I mean, I've not spoke to Jakey about Liverpool so much this season. This is why we're doing this tonight. But I got a funny feeling that both me and Jake are going to have exactly the same opinion on that, Tommy. How's it going, Adam? Well, can't go wrong with a cheeky free signing. Can't lose in the situation. That's right. Ads has got a very valid point there. You can't lose with a free, can you? I mean, the only thing you're losing is a weekly wage if he has to sit on the bench because he's shit. And let me tell you, Arsenal are really good at picking up shit defenders. I'll just name a few off the top of my head. Igor Stepnabos from Latvia. What a crock of shit. Pascal Segon. Literally, you can fucking spread peanut butter over that guy's bald head. Who else did we get? Giles Grimandi. Never ever scored an Arsenal goal.
Who else Felipe Senderos as well.
Philip Senderos. What a crock of tonk he is. I mean, we have had some shockers, guys, at the back. We really have. That actually played as well. So yeah, see, Kolasinac, if he did turn out to be an absolute klutz, it would not have surprised me in the slightest. However, what I've seen of him,
but you didn't pay for him.
We didn't pay for him, and what I've seen of him, brilliant so far. I mean, I hope that this form he's in right now carries on through because and why Schalke didn't give him what he wanted because I mean the boy's a decent player. And the good thing about it is he's come from Germany, very, very physical in Germany. We all know that. They're big boys out there.
And
So he's going to be...
He looks a big bloke as well.
Yeah, he looks a big boy himself. So I think he'll do all right in the Premier League. I really do. I mean, only time will tell. I have put him in my fantasy dream team.
Then again, you put Lacazette in there, so... No?
Yeah, but I'm banking on him like getting a couple of goals, going up a little bit of $1 million, and then getting injured, and we'll just swap him out.
So then the notable out I got here for Arsenal is Wojciech Szczesny for 10.4 million.
Yeah, because I think outs for definite. I don't think we should go through all of them.
No, just
because
sort of ones.
I think Chelsea, mate, literally got rid of half their team. But yeah, Wojciech Szczesny out to Juventus for 14 million. I got to be honest, mate. I actually wanted him to stay this year. Main reason being, Petr Cech's probably got this season at most maybe another one in him. Wojciech for me he's not horrendous. He does make silly mistakes, but so did Jens Lehmann, and he's noted as a fucking absolute god at Arsenal. I mean, fucking the boy done my tits in, Jens Lehmann. Wojciech Szczesny makes a lot less errors than what he did. Yet he's a god, and Wojciech Szczesny's been dumped off to Juventus. I'm not being funny as well, right? At what point Juventus, big fucking Italian team, and let's be fair, mate, they are probably the biggest Italian team at this present moment. I know they had their obviously match fixing problems, got relegated. They've bought themselves back. They've got back up in there. Money obviously has gone their way. Why do we think that Wojciech Szczesny is not good enough for Arsenal, but good enough for Juventus, who are playing Champions League? That's what I question myself. I think maybe another loan would have been probably the better option when Petr Cech retires, which he's going to soon, surely, because he is getting there now.
He's getting there, yeah.
Szczesny's an easy replacement. He's already on the books, but we haven't paid his wage. If he'd have gone out on loan this season, we wouldn't have paid his wages for 2 years. So we would have been quids in, really, you know. But hey, see you later, Wojciech. I liked him. I liked a bit of Szczesny's.
I thought he was a pretty decent keeper. I mean, he's
better than Ospina. That's right, Tommy. He is better than Ospina, mate.
Yes, I agree with that. Ospina is
and they're both old. Petr Cech and both Ospina are both old guys. And that Martinez, Emiliano Martinez, or whatever his fucking name is, he's just been shipped off as well, isn't he, on loan? So I don't know what the fucking other third keeper's going to look like, but there we go. I'd have to have a look into that, actually, because I don't know who the fuck...
has signed Szczesny, and he's going to be their second choice like he would have been at Arsenal. He's going to be their second choice to Buffon.
Yeah, so it wasn't going to be a question of football for Szczesny. Do you know what I mean? Szczesny would have known that he would have been, I don't know.
Getting ready, yeah.
I don't know.
Adam just said Juventus the only Italian team that own their own stadium.
Wow. What, is that because they share it with someone else, or they just haven't paid for them yet? Jesus, man. Adds with the trivia. Did Arsenal add extra zeros to that deal? Seems a good fee to get. Yeah, fair one.
Okay, so we move
Sell
on
Ospina, keep Szczesny. Totally agree with that, Tommy. Szczesny was great for Roma. Conte is unhappy with Chelsea. He didn't want to let Maric go.
History
I have Kolasinac in my fantasy team. Don't forget to like the stream. Thanks very much. Perfect for Arsenal, if that's true. I think Arsenal still can come fourth. Yeah, I think we'll get to predictions in a minute. Ads. Okay, on to
Bournemouth. So I've got Nathan Ake, 19.3 million.
Yeah, see, I've got Nathan Ake, 20 million. I think that's ridiculous money, considering Bournemouth haven't got a lot of money probably to be splashing out. I mean, I'm not disputing that Nathan Ake's decent, but 20 million?
Yes.
I mean,
and I think Chelsea have made a mistake there. I mean, they've got 20 million out of him, but I think if they kept him, they got extra depth in their defence, because they like 3-man defence and they've lost a few defenders.
Extra depth, and let's be fair, Nathan Ake's only going to get better at Chelsea. Is he going to get the right training and right push at Bournemouth? I don't know, man.
He's going to get the games. He's definitely getting the games.
He's definitely going to get games.
Really well from
definitely going to get games. Season. Yeah, he did. He played well last season. I'll give that to him.
He was one of their best players up until Chelsea recalled him and just sat him on the bench for the rest of the season. I know they wanted to use him, but they never really did.
No, they didn't. You're right.
And that's I can see why Nathan Ake would want to jump to Bournemouth, because he's going to get the games, whereas Chelsea, they weren't planning on using him. And you know, Bournemouth have got. I mean, I would say they've signed him for less than what he's worth in the current transfer market. Because I would have said someone like Nathan Ake, he's 21, I think, 22, something like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, 20. I mean, John Stones was sold for 50 million last season, and he's 21, 22.
Yeah. This is the thing. I think the problem is I think the money for centre halves is just rocketed, isn't it? So I still think it's a little bit much. Not necessarily for Ake, but for Bournemouth to splash out.
Bournemouth, yeah.
You know, like
I mean,
they haven't got probably a lot of money as it is. I mean, 20 million on one centre half. And let's be fair, like you say, he's a young boy. He's not the full project right now. Is that a good move for Bournemouth? I mean, if someone like Man City came in for him, or Arsenal, or you would be saying, yeah, decent signing. He's going to do well. He's going to develop, blah, 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 blah. But Bournemouth, like, they haven't got 20 million to just be splashing out like that, right?
Well, every Premier League club gets that 90 million every season from TV.
Right.
And they get the prize money from the league itself. And I mean, the prize money, I'm not sure the exact amounts on it, but it's quite.
I suppose so. Knowing full well that they're likely, knowing full well they're likely not to go down this season. I suppose in that sense, then if they've get 90 million from TV rights anyway, then I suppose it's not that bad. And like you say, this current market, unfortunately, for young defenders, it's probably about the right price.
For young players in general, isn't it?
That's it, mate. Yeah, it's probably about the right price. I just think for Bournemouth to be splashing that cash might be because they could have. Let's be fair, mate. They could have strengthened with two very decent players for both 10.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I'm hoping that Nathan Ake does really, really well because I like the guy. I think he's a very, very good-looking footballer. I mean, he's a solid centre half. Is he English or is he Nigerian or something like that?
He's
Hey, how's it going, Flay?
I think he's from Netherlands.
Netherlands, is it?
Yeah.
Matches went to the best in the world. Chesney
apparently,
had
there's a buyback clause in the deal for Ake.
There was a what? Sorry.
Buyback clause in the deal.
See, that's really not good. Then that's not good for Bournemouth at all. Because obviously, if they're using it as a project, then fair enough, it's a good investment. Yeah. But if there's a buyback clause as well, that's a bit worrying.
Clauses are always more than what the fee is. So Bournemouth are going to get their money back. I'm not sure what the length of it could be. Could be 25.
The boy could be like the best centre half in the Premier League in 5 years.
So I mean, I think that's one of the
depends how he goes. You know what I mean? It depends how he carries on.
I mean, big clubs sell their young players now because if they want to play football, then they're not going to get played. Big clubs will sell them.
Yeah.
And put those buyback clauses. I mean, Real Madrid did end up with Morata. They sold him for pittance. I don't know how much it was to Juve. I think it was Juve.
There's
anyway.
a buyback clause for Ake, yeah. So they reckon it's 25 mil.
Back 25 mil.
Right.
So I mean, that could be good for Chelsea. I mean, it could be. I mean, Bournemouth.
It could be extremely good for Chelsea.
5 million on top of it. I mean, he might not be worth that when they sell him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if he busts himself up, you know, if they get 2 good seasons out of him, then he gets the dreaded Arsenal injuries.
Knee injury or something, straining knee. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, Nathan Ake in at Bournemouth.
And the other signing, the notable signing, they signed someone called Conor Mahoney. I'm not sure who he is from.
No, I've heard the name from Blackburn on a free. I've heard the name, not too sure who he is, so we'll pass on that one for now.
And then Jermaine Defoe on a free from Sunderland. Now I think Jermaine Defoe, he's 36. A free signing for Jermaine Defoe is brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
You know, will pop the ball in the net if you need him to pop the ball in the net.
The boy still scored goals for a relegated Sunderland last year. I think a free for Bournemouth, that is fantastic business. I mean, to be honest with you, any club in the bottom half of the Premier League that would have got Jermaine Defoe on a free is great business, if you ask me.
I mean, Bournemouth finished. I think they finished 10th last season. I can't remember 10th or 9th.
I think Jermaine Defoe will also score more goals for these lot. I think he'll do well. He's already injured though. I think he's got like 25 or 75% chance playing this weekend. 75%
chance I said on my fantasy team because I've him in there.
Yeah, well, I was going to whack him in, but as soon as I saw that, I'm doing good. Thanks, Flat Space. I'm doing good, man. The other one I've got here, is I'm guessing that you haven't got it then, is an undisclosed fee for Asmir Begovic. Now,
oh, yes, I forgot about that. I haven't got that on there, yes.
Right, I'll tell you what, again, that is very good business. I don't know how much they've spent on him. If I click on this, it might give me an idea.
I think it was about 5 million. It wasn't much, because, I mean, he was sat on the bench at Chelsea. He obviously wanted to leave. They reckon
Bournemouth have completed the signing of goalkeeper Asmir Begovic from Chelsea for an undisclosed fee, believed to be in the region of 10. I'm not being funny, but 10 million for Begovic, that's a fucking steal if you ask me. Begovic is he's a proven goalkeeper in the Premier League for a start.
Yeah.
He's been in there a long, long time with a few different clubs. I think Begovic, 10 million, great buy for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Overall,
Which is
I'd say good business for Bournemouth.
Yeah, and yeah, they've done some real good business. I mean, again, Begovic is a proven goalkeeper. I mean, he hasn't been playing for Chelsea, but he's definitely a good keeper.
Yeah, he's good enough to be playing for Chelsea first time, but obviously, you know, it's going to be difficult always to get in front of Courtois or Courtois, whatever his damn name is.
Courtois,
yeah, he's a cracking goalkeeper, Courtois. I mean, it's always going to be difficult, but Begovic is an absolute bargain, I think, for 10 mil.
And the outs is there's no notable ones. The guy
no, there's nothing notable there, is there?
Goalkeeper. No,
I got to be honest with you. Outs, when there's no notable outs like that for a team like Bournemouth, I think your main priority is retention. You know, if you finish 10th, main priority is retention. Bringing in the three guys anyway, the notable guys. Bringing in those three guys, it's only going to make them stronger. So I'm saying very good business for Bournemouth.
Mahoney is a 22-year-old, fast 22-year-old right mid and has a bit of potential. Tommy plays, knows his football.
Yeah, Tommy plays. You know your stuff, dude. He knows his stuff. See, and this is why it's good to have people like you in, Tommy, because me and Jakey know our stuff. I mean, Jakey is a lot more knowledgeable than myself, especially with facts and stuff like that.
I love a bit of Football Manager. That's my main thing.
Yeah, so that's a class signing. Bournemouth needed more goals up front in the second half of games. Yeah, totally agree, Ads. Stepped in while Courtois was injured. Yeah, Arsenal will have trouble in Europa League. It's more tiring. They've got a big old squad though, Arsenal. Yeah. They've got a lot of young boys that played in the pre-season friendlies. I've managed to watch all the pre-season friendlies. I'll tell you what, there is some really, really good-looking footballers in Arsenal's like reserve squad / under 23 squad or whatever it is. I think that Arsenal will probably be all right. I mean, some of these youths are fantastic looking players, and they will probably play their. They will probably play their. Yeah, Courtois penalty against Arsenal was terrible. He's good in goal. I think that's where he should stay.
He's taking a goal kick, the poor guy.
Yeah, right, mate. It went out of Wembley. It hit some poor old lady on the head when she was coming over Morrison shopping.
Arsenal injuries, though, yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you've got a big team and you don't really get rid of many players, is because
they're all fucking injured all the time.
Your physio department's terrible.
I tell you, the physio needs to sort his life out, man. He's doing something wrong. How's it going, Notix? Welcome to the stream, dude.
You thought it was a goal kick.
He thought it was a goal kick. Right, so we're on to Brighton. I've got to be honest. Yeah, I've got to be honest. A lot of these, I'm not gonna probably know. In fact, I look at that list that I've got here.
I've heard of a couple.
I've not really heard.
They brought in a couple from Inglostat, didn't they? They've got what? I've got one.
Yeah, they've got
Marcus
one,
Suttner.
two from Ingolstadt. They've also got a guy from FK Bodil Glimt, which I'm presuming is going to be the same sort of league. What is Ingolstadt? Danish, is it? No, Ingolstadt's the German side, isn't it?
German, yeah. They're in the German top. I'm not sure where they finished that
Matthew
season.
Ryan from Valencia, presumably he's English.
He's a winger from Australia, actually. He's Australian winger. That's as much as I know on him. I haven't seen much of him. I know that from Football Manager. And Davy Proper, I watched him when PSV beat Man United that game.
Hang on a minute. Brighton.
Sorry.
Matthew Ryan.
Yeah.
This guy's got goalkeeper gloves on. He is Australian.
He is
Australian. He's definitely Australian.
Maybe I got confused with someone else. Yes, he is a goalkeeper.
But he's got goalkeeper gloves on here in this picture. So
that was what it is. I was looking at Australia's team and there was a winger I scouted on there.
So yeah, it looks like he's a goalkeeper. I don't know, man. I got to be honest. I don't know a lot of these players, but let's be fair. I mean, Izzy Brown. They've got Izzy Brown from Chelsea on loan. I don't recognise that guy. Josh Kerr from Celtic.
He played for Huddersfield last season, Izzy Brown, and was one of the main reasons Huddersfield did quite well, I think, last season.
Right, okay.
Quite a few goals for them.
And they've got Davy Proper from PSV Eindhoven. I mean, they spent 10 million on him. So they've spent some money, to be fair to them. So, they're not planning on going back down anytime soon, by the looks of it. I don't think it's enough to stay in the Premier League, because obviously a lot of those guys are not named. But, like I say, we always get the odd one or two that prove very, very good. I'll tell you who I did like that came up last season for Middlesbrough was that Gaston Ramirez. He's a fucking good player, you know? And I've got to be honest, if someone said to me Gaston Ramirez, I probably wouldn't have known who he was prior to watching him last season, you know? And I think he's a very good player, that Gaston Ramirez.
I think Southampton brought him to the Premier League, and he's one of those players that plays well about 50% of the time.
Right.
And then one of them that's just sort of absent for them for the rest of them. And I've got another guy here who snapped up or signed Ales Mateju from Victoria Pilsen. He's a under 21 Czech Republic right back
This is for Brighton, is it?
for Brighton, yeah.
Okay, so I haven't got that one on my list. So again, they're spending money, which is good. You know, obviously what they don't want to do is come to the Premier League and spend nothing. It looks like they're all around the 10 million mark by the looks of it. The keeper was 6 by the looks of it, Matthew Ryan.
Yeah.
The Valencia, the guy from Glimt, I think it was, that I looked at, he was 10. Davy Proper was 10. So that, you know, they're spending some money, which is good to see. Matthew Ryan is goalkeeper. He has done amazing in the Liga. Is quite good. Keeps Australia in the game long enough to win a few of their qualifiers. Oh, there you go. So Ads knows quite a bit about.
Awesome for 6 million proving goalkeeper.
Rumours about Zlatan back to United. We'll get to rumours. We'll get to rumours, Flatty. Don't you worry, me old boy.
And I've got one
Pascal
guy
Gross.
that I've actually heard of going out of Brighton. That's David Stockdale. I mean, he was.
I've heard of David Stockdale as well.
He was one of those keepers that was supposed to be a brilliant English keeper. Who was going to be playing.
Did he play for Wigan?
He probably did. He's played for a few teams. Stockdale.
I do recognise Stockdale. I do recognise the name Stockdale definitely as a goalkeeper.
Well, he's gone on a free to Birmingham.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Gross created the 4th most chance in the Bundesliga last season.
Well, there you go. So they're obviously buying clever as well. And obviously from Ingolstadt, I mean, let's be fair, we've done the FIFA League from Germany, and I think I was Ingolstadt. They were terrible. So I don't actually know a lot of their players at all. I do remember Suttner from Ingolstadt. I'm sure he's a forward. Nope, he's a left back. So there you go. That's how much I remember from playing with Ingolstadt.
Stockdale was at Fulham. Championship keeper at best.
Yeah.
I'd say so now, but he was one of those that was tipped to do quite well.
Ah, was it Fulham, was it? There you go. It's probably Fulham then that I remember from. Ramirez is one of those players that needs to be moderately coddled to be able to play his best. Pascal Gross created 4th most chance in Bundesliga. That's good, that is.
Rumours that Man United would definitely win the league.
There are rumours that Man United will definitely win the league. That's interesting to know, DSA. I haven't actually seen that one. Championship keeper at best. Stockdale was at Fulham. Fulham, that's where I know it from then, Ads. Thanks for that information, mate. I do recognise the name for sure. So that's pretty much Brighton done. I think, are you in agreement?
The same as...
Are you in agreement with me that we probably can't say whether that's good or bad business just purely because we're not massively au fait with the players in and out?
I've not much knowledge on them. I can't say if they're going to be good or not.
I mean, it seems like they've done some pretty good business. Obviously, this Matthew Ryan seems decent from yourself. You obviously know a lot about him. Tommy's obviously been doing some research on Pascal Gross. I mean, Pascal Gross 5.5. That's not bad. So yeah, I mean, it looks like they've done some good business. I suppose only time will tell because I really don't know a lot of the players, to be honest.
I watched Proper when PSV played Man United, and he's quite a good player. I signed him on Football Manager. Like, quite a lot of players I have. I was playing West Brom. He's a centre midfielder, if I remember correctly. He does look like he could be a good player.
That's ideal then. That's ideal. Well, fair play to Brighton. I hope they do well. I always like to see the new boys do well anyway, apart from Newcastle, because let's be fair, they've been in there long enough as it is. I don't like that fucking geezer that's in charge, Mike Ashley. I think he's an absolute frog face. But there we go.
We're on to Burnley.
We are on to Burnley. So obviously, Burnley have been quite busy.
They've signed a few.
Jack
Cork for 10 million.
Jack Cork for 10, I don't think is too bad. I mean, he's another up and coming, isn't he?
He's up and coming, been and gone. I think now he's.
You reckon? He's past it? Because wasn't he at Chelsea? Didn't Swansea get him on?
He was.
Yeah, Swansea got him.
Chelsea, but he was one of those players that was tipped for big things. I think he's like 26, 27 now.
Haven't they got another boy that they got last season from Chelsea called Carroll? And he's the best, and I'm sure he plays centre midfield as well. Is it Carroll?
Tom Carroll is Tottenham.
Tottenham, is it? Okay, it's the wrong guy.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the same guy you're thinking of.
Unless they've signed him recently, I can't remember.
Yeah.
We'll obviously get to Swansea. But yeah, I don't know on Jack Cork, mate. 10 million is it? Apparently mine says undisclosed, 10 so 10 million? Pfft, I'm not sure. I think there's better centre midfielders you could probably get for 10 million. I think Arsenal would let Wilshere go for 10 million.
Next we got John Walters.
That's the Stoke City guy, isn't it?
3 million.
3 million?
I think 3 million. He's a striker. I mean, he's getting on a bit. I don't know. He's probably 31, 32. I'm not.
He's a busy
100%
fucker
sure.
though, isn't he? He's always
But he's
busy
a guy
for Stoke.
that will put in 100%.
Yeah, he's a
no matter
busy
what
guy.
He does.
I think Burnley needs something like that. They need some sort of energy.
Yeah.
I think John Watt was definitely, because let's be fair, Burnley are one of those teams, especially last season. They upset some of the big boys because they just soak up pressure, and then they just hit you on the tack. John Watt was one of those players that can definitely play that sort of game.
Definitely, yeah. They got Charlie Taylor, who's a left back from Leeds. He's I think he's 22.
Okay, I don't know too much about Charlie Taylor. Is he any good?
From Football Manager, he's a very good left back, good player, up and coming. He's played quite a bit for Leeds, I think.
Too bad on the ins. What about outs then? So
they got Phil Bardsley as well from Stoke.
Oh, have they? I haven't got that on mine.
He's going to bring some experience in.
Phil Bardsley's not a bad player, mate. I don't mind Bardsley. Like you say, he's going to definitely bring in some experience. Yeah. He's played in the Premier League, which is always a winner, especially for teams that are like struggling Premier League sides, should we say? No disrespect to Burnley. So yeah, that's not bad. Then I didn't realise he got Bardsley. That's not on my list here, so that's worth a shot. Didn't realise he was that cheap.
Charlie Taylor left Leeds.
Burnley sold Gray for 18.5. We haven't got to the outs yet, Tommy. Adam, you just be patient. Charlie Taylor is a great player on a free from Leeds. Okay, so it's a great player. There you go. Tommy knows his stuff with Leeds left back. So there we go. Charlie Taylor is an awesome signing. The reason he left Leeds was because he wanted to play Prem football. Okay, fair enough. So it looks like they've got some pretty good ins. Now on the outs, I mean, the biggest one there surely is Michael Keane for 30 million. I mean, let's be fair, mate.
They got good money for him.
I saw bits and pieces of Keane last season, but 30 million? I would not say that Keane's a 30 million centre half, but obviously Everton think so. I mean, we'll have to just see if he plays there now. I mean, presumably 30 million, he's going to be like their main man at in the heart of defence.
I thought so, yeah. I mean, he's one of those guys. He's another English player, so that's probably why his fees up a bit. He's not too old. I think he's 23, 24, something like that. So
he's a young'un. I know he's definitely a young'un.
Just getting there.
The thing is it's only 20 million cheaper than. It's only 20 million cheaper than Stones, and at the time Stones got bought, he'd already played for England. Has Keane even been capped?
Keane has played for England, yeah. He played that game against Germany. He was one of our best players that game.
Well, there you go then. Fair enough. Take my hat off, Keane. Fair enough. 30 million, like you say, English players in the Premier League. English players in the Premier League, mate, like you say, always fetch a ridiculous amount of money anyway. 30 million. Obviously, we'll go on to Everton in a minute anyway, so probably don't want to say too much about Mr. Keane. I mean, the other notable one there is Joe Barton release. Let's be fair, that boy just cannot keep a club down. He may as well just give up. You know,
he's banned, isn't he?
He might as well just give up football, mate. He might as well just give up football.
Well, he's banned for 18 months, I think. Cause,
well, that's his career done then.
He was gambling on lots of matches or whatever.
Yeah, I remember the report coming out of him gambling.
Yeah. Other ones have got George Boyd. He was one of those players that put in a shift.
Do you know what, mate?
I'm quite known for just covering every pitch.
I think it's a shame that Burnley couldn't have pinned him down on another deal because, like you say, George Boyd, although he didn't play a hell of a lot, admittedly, for Burnley, he was coming off the bench a lot last season. But like you say, mate, he is a busy ass player. Did he not play for Blackpool when they come up into the Premier League?
I can't remember who did.
I'm sure he was playing for another team that came up from the Championship. He's one of those ones that float between the top Championship sides. Hull, well, that's right. He's one of those boys, isn't he, that floats between the top Championship sides, gets them into the Premier League, sits out for a season, and they always bin him off back down again. That seems to be George Boyd's career, really.
Well, Burnley's kept him quite a lot. I mean, he's gone to Sheffield Wednesday now, so he has dropped down again. But Burnley kept him for a few seasons, and he put in a shift.
He's a decent player, mate. I think he's all right.
Yeah, Paul Robinson, the ex-England keeper, he's retired now.
Well, let's be fair, it's about time. I didn't even realise he was still going on, mate, because he didn't get in the team, I guess. He was like fourth
choice or whatever, and he was just there as a coach, I think, in his coaching. And, of course, Andre Gray, their striker, has just gone to Watford, I think, for 18.4 million.
Is that done deal, is it?
I think that is a done deal.
That's not on mine at the moment. Done today, right? That's probably why it's not on my list.
It's coming today, yeah.
18 million for Gray. I tell you what, though. That Gray, he is a good looking player, mate.
I like him. Yeah.
I like him. I think he's going to do very, very well. I think he fits Watford. Hopefully, he keeps fit because I think he's going to be a very, very promising young guy. I do. I like grey.
Yeah.
Don't forget, guys, like the stream. Thanks very much, Mr. Flawless. Okay, he got an inform for that game versus Germany against in FIFA. There you go. So obviously, me and Jakey have been playing FIFA for a while. So
we did play FIFA. I haven't played since January.
Yeah, it's been a while. So if that's the case, Jakey's right. He was obviously the best man on the field. He got released because of his ban.
England.
Bloody right too. What about Barnsley? Barnsley from
22
for 1.5.
Barnsley. We did mention that. I got undisclosed on that, so I just assumed it was on a free. Because I didn't know how much he was going for.
Boyd wants to play all the time, hence why he gets released. As he is their fourth choice in terms of Robinson.
He's their fourth choice in terms of Robinson. Yeah, he's 26 and didn't quite fit Burnley's style of play. I'm thinking Adam's talking about Andre Gray there.
Right.
I'm thinking. Okay. And Burnley have signed in Birmingham City goalkeeper Adam Legsdins.
Yeah, I see that one here.
Name. I think he played for Reading.
Legsdins? Don't recognise him.
I recognise the name.
Presumably they've just replaced. Presumably they're just replacing the fourth choice there, though, right? Yeah. With Paul Robinson, if you see what I'm saying.
That's fill the void of Paul Robinson.
Yeah,
30-year-old is something of a Football League journeyman, having played for 3 clubs: Halifax, Macclesfield, and Oldham, whilst on loan as a trainee at Birmingham.
Yeah, he sounds like
so
a fantastic
he's played for a lot of clubs. He's played for a lot of clubs by the looks of things. I mean, he's playing for, obviously, I must have played for Birmingham last season or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, he's just going to be, looks like he's going to be...
just a replacement for Paul Robinson, isn't it?
I mean,
right, so Burnley seem to have done all right.
Done some good business,
yeah, done all right. They've unfortunately lost a few players there, I think, but I think they've done all right. I think Burnley done all right. I don't think it's going to be enough to guarantee them staying above that drop zone, but we shall see. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Right, so
next,
on to one of the big guns again.
We're on to Chelsea.
Mr. Chelsea.
I think the first one we should talk about here, not the biggest name signing.
Yeah.
Probably a guy not many people have heard of, Ethan and Pardew, just for the local sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I don't mind that, because I've got to be honest with you, because I don't watch a hell of a lot of League 2 football. What is this Ethan Pardew like? I mean, obviously he must be fucking decent for Chelsea to decide to take him on board. Presumably he's going to be an 18-year-old or something like that, right?
He is younger than that. Right. He is, I believe, 16.
Right.
And he was playing first team football for Exeter last season.
Right, so he's obviously got something special there, especially for Chelsea to take him on, mate. I mean, let's be fair. Chelsea don't really invest in their youth all that much, shall we say. But to go from Exeter first team football to Chelsea, I mean, that's a big old step. So they must obviously see something in him there.
Yeah, and I think Ethan Pardew was the first player in the Football League that was born, first player born in the 2000s to play in the Football League.
Wow, okay.
He was playing for Exeter when he was 15 when he made his debut. So, I mean, he could be a good player. Could be one to watch for
Mr. Ethan
Pardew. 3 or 4 seasons.
Definitely.
Guy to look out for. I think we then need to move on to Morata.
I think we need to move on to the fact that Chelsea are trying to fucking raid Monaco. Oh no, this is not Chelsea, is it? That's City. I think move on to Morata.
Morata, 70 million, Real Madrid.
Hey, Selly, how you doing? Sorry, Jakey. 70 million?
That's
Do you think that's too much, mate?
Yes.
I think it's far too much. 70 million, when you think that Aubameyang is in the region of 80, is the reports that China are trying to sign Aubameyang. Dortmund have pretty much said that Aubameyang is for sale for about 80. I believe that Alvaro Morata, don't get me wrong, very good player, but 70 million for a guy that's pretty much sat on the bench for Real Madrid because he hasn't played all that much. I know he's come off.
Played. I mean, he had good 70 million for Alvaro Morata, flawless. He played quite a bit for Real Madrid, but as a bench warmer for Benzema, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate. I mean, Chelsea paying 70 million for a team that they should be probably trying to challenge for the Champions League, I think is pretty poor business, if you ask me. If you'd have said to me, "Oh, Chelsea have just signed Aubameyang for 70 million," let's be fair, mate. Everybody knows who Aubameyang is. I'm not saying that everybody doesn't know who Morata is now, but that he's not Real Madrid's
wouldn't.
first choice. I'm not saying it's horrendous business. I think it's bad for Chelsea because they need a striker. I think it's a desperado attempt, in my personal opinion, because Costa looks like he's going to be going out the other way to Sevilla. Atletico. I think it's a desperation buy, and like Arsenal, who else is available? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Conte is unhappy with Chelsea transfers, with selling Matic and his history of quitting because of transfers. Panic buy that for Matic. Panic buy that for Matic. Yeah, which is pretty much, I think, where me and Jakey are going with this. Are you talking about football? Sadly, we are, Shabs. Sadly, we are. Morata didn't show up in the Community Shield. He did, Flawless. He nearly hit the corner flag on a penalty. I remember it quite vividly.
Yes, I'm a bad football fan. I didn't watch it.
Morata's penalty was fucking terrible. I mean, 70 million. You'd expect at least for a 70 million striker to put it on target.
Yeah.
I know it's Wembley. I know he's never played in England before. But 70 million. I'm not being funny, but 12 yards, you should be hitting the target, no doubt. If Czech saves it, fair enough. But hit the target for 70 million, man.
I mean, Man United were looking at him, and I was looking at it. I was thinking, oh, this could be a good buy. But the amount Real Madrid wanted, I mean, Real Madrid only signed him back because they wanted to make a profit on him. They had no intentions of playing him. Right. They bought out. He had a buyback fee in his transfer to, I think it was Juventus.
Who's this? Morata?
Morata, yeah. They brought him back literally just to sit there and see if they could, because Chelsea wanted him.
Right.
And that was the only reason why they signed him back again. They didn't have any really intentions. I mean, he had good goals to game ratio.
Yeah, he's got a fantastic goal to game ratio. He's got a fantastic goal to game ratio, but like you say, it's because he's come off the bench. Is he going to be a 90-minute man that's going to get you a goal a game in average over the course of the season?
No.
I suppose it's just... I tell you what, mate. I watched Morata in that pre-season friendly. He only came on for 20 minutes. He looked average. He didn't look like a 70 million striker. Admittedly, 20 minutes is not really a fair assumption to make. However, I've watched Batshuayi in a few pre-season friendlies. Once against Arsenal. My fucking God, he scored a thunderous goal against Arsenal in Asia, mate. Batshuayi is a beast, mate. I'll tell you what, right? Batshuayi, for me, out of the two for now, because let's be fair, Costa looks like he's going the other way. Batshuayi, for me, looks like he should be Chelsea's number one. But he's not going to be, because let's be fair, 70 million is a ridiculous amount of money for Morata. So you're not going to sit him on the bench for 70 million. But for me, Batshuayi looks a better player at the moment. Yeah. I've only seen 20 minutes of him in a Chelsea shirt, so I can't. I'm not saying that that's my foregone conclusion, but I think well overspended for a bench warmer for Real Madrid. That they're looking to be their new main man. I don't think he's going to be as good as Costa personally, but we'll soon see. We'll soon see. Hey, how's it going, Torres? Welcome to the stream, dude.
If we go next up, Tiemuni, I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Bakayoko. I've got to be honest, mate. Right, I know Monaco won the French league last year or whatever, but I don't know a lot of their players, mate. Again, because I don't watch French football.
My knowledge of him, he's a defensive midfielder, so he's
that's about as much as my knowledge finishes.
I think he cost them about the same amount as Man United bought Matic. I think he was just a bit less than what Man United bought Matic for.
Yeah, it's saying here the report's about 40 million.
He's a young guy. I think he's probably 23, something like that.
22 it says here, mate. So it's about right if he's as good as. I mean, let's be fair. If they're a champion side. It doesn't matter what country you're in. Yeah. To be a champion of any league is pretty decent. If he's a champion of France, holding midfielder, 40 million for a 22-year-old seems about right when you think how much everyone wanted Vardy for last season when Leicester were. So 40 million seems about right. I suppose, again, I don't know a lot because I don't watch a lot of French football. So I guess on this one, for myself especially, is I hope he plays this season because I'd like to see what he's like.
Honestly, it's like, and it's the same with Rudiger. I'm not sure
they must rate him. They must rate him higher than Matic because let's be fair, it's literally a straight swap.
Is a straight swap, and I would have said I would have kept hold of Matic if I was Chelsea.
Same here, mate. He's proven that he can play in the Premier League, and he's one of those guys that are irritatingly breaks up play very, very well.
I'm sure we'll get on to Matic.
Or however you spell it, is absolutely amazing striker. Typical Chelsea signing that buy him young, waste his talent, and sell him. Do you know what, Ads? That's not a bad shout, mate. Chelsea are very, very good at absolutely killing players. I'll tell you who else is very, very good at it. Man City. But we'll get to Man City.
We'll get to Man City. I'm sure we'll get on to Matic as well a bit more with Man United.
Yeah, we'll definitely speak a bit more about Matic.
I have a Spanish friend and he said it's a panic buy and Lukaku is way better. He lives in Madrid, so that's all about Alvaro Morata.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Tommy. I think it is a massive panic buy, and considering Chelsea were linked with Lukaku, I am very, very surprised that they didn't actually pursue that more and have a little fight with United for him. But again, we'll get on to Lukaku. I think it's definitely a panic buy, and in the sense of who the fuck else is available. I think, to be honest with you, if they'd have gone in for 90 million for Aubameyang, I'd be sat here now saying, okay, 90 million is probably a little bit too much for a player that's not played in the Premier League. However, I would also understand Aubameyang for 90 million a lot more than I understand Morata for 70. That's just my opinion. Anyway, we've moved on from Morata. We've gone on to Bakayoko.
Moved on from him, I think, now as well.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Yeah. I think the next one to say is Antonio Rudiger from Roma. Again, I've got undisclosed. I think
I've got him for 34.
34, that seems about right, I would have said. He's a centre-back. I'm not sure his age.
I mean, let's be fair. Chelsea needed a centre-half. Roma are not a bad side at all. I don't know a lot about this guy. I believe he's German.
He's going to be about 23, 24.
He's a 24-year-old Germany international. So, yeah, I mean, they needed a centre-half because they obviously needed to replace Terry. Presumably for 34 million. These guys have scouted him more than I know about him.
Yeah.
I know that Chelsea always overbuy, but 34 million, let's be fair. We just spoke about Keane going to Everton for 30. He's the same sort of age. Germany international. I think 34 sounds about right for the guy. It's only time will tell. They needed a centre half because obviously they lost Terry, so we'll just have to see on him. I think I don't know a hell of a lot more about him. Do you, Jakey?
No, I know I think he's quite quick as well.
Always a winner because Terry wasn't.
Yep. And apart from that, I haven't got much knowledge. I think he's going to be another one like Bakayoko. They're going to look forward to seeing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him as well.
Adam's got him. Monaco won as a team collective, but not as individuals. So that's something to look at.
Yeah, that's a very valid point, Ads. And I think that I've got to be honest with you, Ads. I totally agree. I've heard that Monaco brought this side from pretty much a youth base. A lot of them have played with each other for a long, long time. Hence why Monaco have done so well. Obviously, Monaco have also bought bits and pieces in between, like Falcao and so on and so forth. But the main basis of it seems like it was a very young side that come through the youth system, played together for a long, long time. And I totally agree with you. I think buying up these Monaco players is bad news for any Premiership side. It seems like they've seen how well Monaco have done. It's very similar to the Leicester scenario. Leicester played very, very well together in that season, won the Premier League. A few teams have bought the players that were playing and doing very, very well. One notably for me is Kante. Although he done okay for Chelsea, he did not look the same player in a Leicester shirt as he did in a Chelsea shirt. For me, that's just my opinion. So I completely and utterly 100% agree with you, Ads. I think that only time will tell on these Monaco players, in fairness. But yeah, Rudiger, I'm looking forward to seeing him. Like you say, mate, I'm always happy to see younger, even if they are from a different country, coming into the Premier League. I think younger players in the Premier League is much, much better. I like to see youth being able to come into the Premier League. It makes it a lot more fresh. The only other one I've got here, mate, is Willy
Caballero.
Willy Caballero.
He was Man City's second choice / first choice last season. He basically come in for Bravo when Bravo was crap.
I think this is basically shit. Begovic is gone. We need someone in. Caballero,
That's it.
you'll do.
I mean, he played in the League Cup final. I think he saved a few penalties
He
against
did,
Liverpool.
mate. He did. But let's be fair. If you go to Chelsea and you're a goalkeeper, you know
It's his second choice.
you're second choice at best.
I mean, he was second choice at Man City anyway.
If it was me, mate, I would have held out and gone to somewhere else on a free because, I'm not being funny, but that just tells me that Willie, you are a fucking Willie because you know full well you're not going to be getting to play football. Now, I'm not being funny, but any footballer that doesn't want to play football shouldn't be playing football. You know, he has signed that.
Pick up his.
That's it, mate. He's just picking up his check at the end of the game. He has signed that purely on the understanding that he is not going to play. If you ask me, that's poor. But
yeah,
I would if I was Willie Caballero, I'd be wanting like Bournemouth to come and grab me rather than them grabbing Begovic. Do you see what I mean? The difference there is Begovic, no, I don't want to be the second choice anymore. Bournemouth have come in, yes, I want to go and play for... You know, Caballero's basically just turned around and said, I'm happy being second choice because I'm a fucking frog face.
In a way, Begovic did the same thing when he moved from Stoke to Chelsea.
He did, mate. Anyway. Totally agree. Totally agree. So I just think it's poor. I think it's poor. It's just my personal opinion on it. Willie, you are a Willie. I don't think he's that good anyway, personally.
With the outs, I think we'll just rush through these because quite a few of them have gone to Premier League teams. We've got Nathan Ake to Bournemouth, Chalobah to Watford. I've got Alex Kwamya to Doncaster. I don't think we need to go much into him.
Nope. Although I did like him on FIFA last year.
You did like him on FIFA. Matic to Man United. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Bertrand Traore to Lyon for 8.8 million. Bertrand Traore, I don't know if you know much about him. He's been on loan for the last few seasons.
I do.
Ajax last season played really well.
I do like Bertrand Traore, mate. I watched him. Do you remember when Great Britain put a team into the Olympics?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he played left back then. I liked him. I like Bertrand Traore. I think he's all right.
I think you're thinking of a different player.
Am I?
Yeah, Bertrand Traore is a winger. Winger / striker.
I'm definitely on about... Oh yeah, no, this is not the guy I'm thinking of.
I'm not sure who you're thinking of.
Not this fucker. Who is this guy?
No. He's a striker. He played quite well for Ajax last season. 8.8 million. I don't know much about him.
Well, let's be fair. 8.8 million. Leon needed a striker because some greedy little bastards took their main man. So,
so they've done well.
They've done well there. 8.8. If he's decent and done well for Ajax, I mean, let's be fair. Ajax are no slouches in Europe. So, yeah, I think that was a decent signing for Leon.
And I think we'll get into Kurt Zouma a bit later on as well. On loan to Stoke.
Yeah, Kurt Zouma, Pizon. Gone to Fulham. Isn't that like his second stint at Fulham? Pizon.
There's quite a lot of players out on loan. I think Adam said don't bother with the loans. We'll be going all night.
Not going to bother.
There's so many loans.
Not going to bother. Obviously, the main talking point is John Terry's gone to Villa.
John Terry to Villa, but he said he didn't. I mean, he wasn't good enough for the Premier League. Let's face it.
And Cuadrado to Juventus. That was probably a foregone conclusion.
I forgot about
Cuadrado to
he was
Juventus.
One of those players they signed and wasted. And
I think it was one of those buys from the World Cup. Played a fantastic World Cup for Colombia. I quite like Cuadrado. I think he's extremely fast. He's a little bit wasteful at times, but I've watched a lot of Italian football because I've got BT Sport, and he plays very, 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 very well for Juventus. I am not surprised that Juventus have gone in for 17.3 and bought him, to be honest. So yeah, we'll get rid of Chelsea now. Good or bad, Jakey? I've got to be honest, mate. Don't know a lot about Rudiger. Don't know a lot about Bakayoko. The other two, I think, is bad business. Caballero. I mean, Caballero is just to replace Begovic.
I think Caballero's, they've signed what they needed. Caballero, so I think that's all right. I mean, he can play quite well.
Morata, I don't think is going to be enough for him, mate. I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah.
So, average at best, I think, will go down just purely on Rudiger and Bakayoko. Not too sure. I mean, Bakayoko is pretty much a Kante, isn't it? Situation. If he plays well, then happy days. If not, then bad business again, if you ask me. But see you later, Chelsea. I hope you do shit.
On to Palace. I've got one transfer in, and that's Gyro Riederwald. I think they've definitely brought in some more than him.
Yeah, Riederwald. Yeah, this is the Ajax fella, isn't it?
Is he a centre back? I think he's a centre back. Yeah, he is.
20-year-old from Ajax Youth Academy product, made his debut for Eredivisie outfit in 2013. Has gone on to make 93 appearances for the club. So he's obviously there starting. It doesn't say where he plays.
I think he's a centre back.
I'm pretty sure he is a
From my
defender.
knowledge of Football Manager, he's another one who's Wonder Kids on Football Manager. So
He's a left back. There you go. Well, centre back or left back by the looks of it, and he's played in defensive midfield as well. Okay, so they can pretty much put him anywhere. I think. How much they paid for him?
I've got undisclosed.
Yeah, I've got undisclosed. It usually gives me an idea in the region of, but it hasn't told me. But I've got to be honest, it seems like fairly good business to me for Palace. Palace do need to be looking at these sort of players. Sounds like very good business. 93 appearances, obviously plays regular for Ajax. First teamer, obviously. So yeah, I think goodbye by the sounds of things, and don't know a lot about him, but let's be fair. Palace buying anybody that's a starter for Ajax is good business, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The other one I've got is Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek on loan.
On loan. A good
Chelsea.
Loan, mate, I think.
Good loan. This both their man Chelsea.
Yeah, Loftus-Cheek looks like an aspiring decent player, mate. I've seen him a couple of times in Premier League last season, coming off the bench. He's a big boy for a young lad. He's only 21.
He's only 21, yeah.
I've got to be honest, mate. I like the kid. I think Palace getting him in is a very good deal.
Good deal.
The only thing is that worries me is whether he's going to play, because they've got Benteke there, haven't they?
He's a centre mid, Loftus-Cheek.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
So
he played up top when the game I was watching.
Chelsea were playing him in all sorts of places.
Yeah, I thought they were. I think I might have seen him out on the wing as well, coming off the bench for Chelsea.
Yeah, he probably did. Yeah,
I remember him scoring it. I think it might have been a League Cup game. I remember him scoring a couple of goals.
Yeah, he was a good player. Yeah, he was one of those players that Chelsea's had, and they've gone, oh yeah, he's a good player. We'll keep him in the team and not use him.
BPL star back. Who's that? Sorry, Torres. Who's that? Cuadrado for 70 million bargain was great versus Barcelona. Nice, Tommy. Nice, man. Tommy knows his stuff. Yeah.
I've got a transfer fee here of 8.1 million.
Well, 8.1 million for a starting left back, centre half, wherever he plays. He's obviously a defender. 20-year-old, 8 million. That's good business, mate. Yeah. Starting for Ajax, that's very good business.
The other one I've got.
I haven't got any other ins.
Right. It's not confirmed, but he says he's having a medical, and that was a couple of days ago with Fosu Mensah, Timothy Fosu Mensah.
Is that the Leicester player? Man United player, yes. I remember reading about that as well, actually, mate.
He's a good young.
He is a very. Player. I tell you what, there's a Man United fan at work, very into his Man United. Watches them as regular as he can, and he wanted to see Fosu Mensah step up to the first team this season, so he obviously rates him quite highly. I've not seen a hell of a lot of him because he's obviously a fringe player, shall we say. But what I have seen on him, he's extremely quick.
He's a good, and it looks like he could be a strong player as well. I believe, from my knowledge of him, I believe he's a defensive midfielder. And
that's where I thought he
18,
played.
19.
Yeah, he's still a young boy. So if that does come in, then I think that again is very good business for Palace.
And very good business for United as well.
Yeah, indeed.
So Palace, I think they've done some good business.
Well, we got the outs.
We've got outs, and I've got Steve Mandanda.
That's probably the biggest one. I've got to be honest, mate. I'm a massive fan of Mandanda when he was at Leon. I thought he was fantastic for him. However, he wasn't that great for Palace last season. I thought he was quite poor.
He started off in goal and then they just sort of left it.
I don't know how much they've sold him to Marseille for. Does it tell me?
2.1 million, but I think they bought him in for nothing anyway last season.
Yeah, I think it was a free, wasn't it? So,
let's have a look.
Fraser Campbell, another one that's been released. I tell you what, I feel a bit sorry for Fraser Campbell. He's been riddled with injury for his whole career. He's always played on these sort of like fringe teams, if you like Sunderland. Wasn't he at Cardiff for a bit?
Cardiff, yeah, when they were in there.
So I feel a bit sorry for Fraser Campbell because I like Fraser Campbell and I think if he stayed fit, he probably could have been playing for England. I feel it. The thing is you can never tell, but he did look lively when he did play for Sunderland. He was very good.
He could do something, but he just
but he's just been riddled with injury, and we've never ever seen any sort of form back from him. I mean, at Sunderland, I thought he was quite poor. I feel sorry for the guy because I think he could have probably been decent, but you know, I'm not surprised they've released him. This Jonathan Benteke, is that anything to do with Christian Benteke that's been released? Any idea?
I believe Jonathan Benteke is possibly a relative.
Right. Matthew Flamini's been released.
just
Doesn't
the name.
surprise me because he's
And Joe
fucking
Ledley as
ancient.
well, I
Joe
believe.
Ledley, that's a surprising one.
He's had some injury problems last
Right,
season.
okay. So
Before the Euros, he had some injury problems. I don't think he played much last season. So
I've got to be honest. I think Palace have done really, really good business there, especially if they get Fosu-Mensah in.
Especially if those guys, Fosu-Mensah, and I think Loftus-Cheek can definitely play in the Premier League. I'm not sure Fosu-Mensah. I'm not sure. I haven't seen much of him.
Yeah.
He played a bit for United towards the back end of last season, I think, and he played a bit in the Europa League as well. So I mean, it's two players that could be very interesting to see how they develop as well in the season.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that.
And then you got Riedewald again, a player that's not many people have heard of. But
no, I've not heard of him, but obviously, like we're both on the agreement that any starting Ajax player has got to be decent. They're a big European club. They always will. They always have been. You know, so I think Palace have done all right there. I don't think with the players that they've got rid of, by the looks of it, it's gonna hinder them that much. I think if anything, they've just strengthened and got rid of some dead weight. That's what it looks like to me.
Tommy plays. I'm United. I think one of the best business that United did is put him out on loan to Premier League club to see how good he is. He's a right back, left back, centre back, and a CDM.
Who's that? Fosu-Mensah.
Fosu-Mensah, yeah.
He's good.
It's not confirmed yet, but he has done a medical, so it's pretty much in progress.
Yeah, that's pretty much going to be done. I would have said probably by tomorrow if he's having a medical.
Yeah. It's his brother, I think, Benteke. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I'm not.
It can't be Coinky Dink that both Bentekes are at Palace. Right, and then we move on to Everton. Now, before we even start on Everton, I've got to say they have been fucking busy.
They have gone mental.
And I tell you what, if nothing else, this is the sort of thing that you expect from a club that is fed up with finishing just outside of any European spots. I mean, I know they've been in Europa a couple of times, but this to me says we're fed up with this. We want to give you boys we want to give you boys in the top 6 something to think about. And this for me, before we start, is ridiculously good business because not only have they bought a lot of players, but they've spent fairly wisely as well. And the players they've got in, I'm quite looking forward to seeing them. So obviously, I think you've got to start with Mr. Wayne, haven't you?
Yep. Wayne Rooney.
No worries, Morty.
Wayne Rooney. I think he still has something to offer. I know a lot of people say,
at Everton, yes. I think as far as a United player, I think it's run its course.
He was running its course last season.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that say, Rooney's rubbish, No,
he's not rubbish. I think a team like Everton, where the pressure's off, let's be fair, there's no Champions League for Wayne Rooney this season. He's got that off his back. He's not going to be in the limelight so much because we're not talking about a top 4 club anymore. I think he'll relish at Everton again. I really do. I think he'll do all right. He's scored some fantastic pre-season goals already.
Yeah, and I mean,
I think he'll do all right.
Still got Europe. And I think Wayne Rooney's one of those players that's never going to be appreciated until he's gone.
Yeah, I think he's probably right.
Never going to be appreciated by anyone.
No, I totally agree with you. I think Wayne Rooney for Everton, great signing. I think the only thing that's probably bad on their front is I think they had to match his wages because obviously the fee, although it says undisclosed, I think what's happened here is it's nothing. I think it was something to do with the fact that Wayne Rooney bought himself out of it or something or other, but Everton had to match his wages that he's getting paid.
He's taken a cut. He's definitely taken a cut. He's not getting paid the wages he was at Man United. Right.
I mean, he was on a ridiculous amount anyway, wasn't he?
He was on a lot of money.
So I think that it's good business, if I'm honest. Wayne Rooney to Everton, he wouldn't have played for anybody else in the Premier League anyway. I'm pretty certain of that. So I think for Koeman to bring him back in, I think it's a good shout.
Yeah.
Jordan Pickford, Sunderland?
That was going to be my next one. Jordan Pickford, Sunderland. 30 million, that's quite a lot, quite steep for a goalkeeper when you think Buffon
I totally agree with that
as well.
30 million. However, I like this kid. I like this kid, mate.
He's a very good keeper.
I like this kid.
22?
He's young boy. I tell you what,
1994, so 22, 23.
I've got him down here as 23.
Yep.
I've got to be honest, mate. I think it's a fantastic signing. It's probably a little bit too much because what worries me about the 30 million price tag is are now prices for goalkeepers going to go fucking through the roof as well? Looks to be a yes. Is Jordan Pickford worth the 30 million price tag? Again, time will tell. He's still a very young lad, but he was fucking awesome. I mean, obviously, I only really watched a lot of Arsenal games last season. I didn't watch matches of the day.
Season with Sunderland,
mate, we could have scored 8 past Sunderland if it wasn't for that boy.
I think quite a lot of people would have done. Sunderland, they would have had. I reckon they would have had barely any points if they didn't have Pickford and Defoe last season.
I totally agree with you.
Sunderland. They were basically, and now they've lost them. I don't know what they're going to do in the Championship. That's a different story. Pickford is a goalkeeper.
I think they drew their first game, didn't they?
Yeah, they drew it 1-1, I think.
1-1, yeah.
But Pickford, I will say it now, he will be England #1.
He will be England #1. There's no two ways about it, mate. He is a fantastic goalkeeper. I hope he stays fit. I think that Everton's definitely a good place to go because they do like bringing up some youth. I think it's a good shout.
Not to mention Everton needed a goalkeeper. I think they had Martin Stekelenburg last season and Joel Robles, and neither of them stand out to me as very good goalkeepers.
Well, Stekelenburg was quality. Was it Roma? No.
Where was it? I can't remember where he was at, but he come to.
I know that he was so close. The same season.
Very
The same season he got signed, mate. Man United were literally inches away from signing the boy. And I tell you what, you dodged a bullet with Stekelenburg. Because he was fucking awesome wherever he was playing, right? He came to the Premier League and he was tonk. Literally, I would have been better off playing for whoever the fuck signed him because he was terrible. So yeah, like you say, Jordan Pickford will be playing for Everton in goal this season. I'm pretty certain of that. And I can't wait to see him this season. I'm glad he stayed in the Premier League. It would be an absolute travesty if he had stayed at Sunderland, I think. So it was probably a case of Everton knew they needed a keeper. Jordan Pickford is definitely worth picking up. I reckon Sunderland have pushed that to 30 million rather than Everton wanting to pay 30 million.
Yeah.
But I think
got their money they want.
Sunderland have got the money they want. That's going to give them enough coverage to be able to replace him to get them probably back in the Premier League potentially. Yeah. I think it's good business for Everton. They would probably push to the 30 million rather than wanting to pay the 30 million, but I think it's very, very good business. Jordan Pickford, mark Jakey and Chewy's word now, he will at some point be England's #1. I'm certain of that.
I thought about that. It's going to be a good fight between him and Butland, I reckon.
Yeah, Butland's a sick player, man.
Butland's a good player, yeah.
But Butland picked up a couple of injuries though last season, didn't he?
He broke his ankle in that game against Germany before the Euros. I felt sorry for him because he was definitely going to be England's #1, I think, in the Euros.
There's a bit like matey boy that plays left back for you lot. Sure, he busted himself just before the Euros, didn't he?
He broke his leg, didn't he? Against PSV.
That was a shame as well. He was
playing really well.
He was playing awesome. He was playing awesome at the time. Big shame though. Big shame.
Michael Keane we discussed earlier on.
Yeah, I think
we don't need to mention much more on that.
No, we don't. Definitely don't need to mention any more Michael Keane.
Davy Klaassen, 23.6 million from Ajax. He's another one like Proper, I believe. They both play in that same sort of position.
Attacking midfielder, apparently.
Attacking midfielder, yeah. That's what
24-year-old.
24. First team for Ajax, so...
Definitely first team for Ajax by the looks of it. Scored 16 times as 16. Ajax reached the Europa League final and finished second in the Eredivisie. Who beat them then?
Yeah.
PSV?
I don't think it was PSV. I'm not sure. I didn't really watch much of the Eredivisie last season.
Okay, so I have seen this boy play. I've got to be honest. I think it's probably going to have been Europa League or Champions League, and he looks pretty decent. I'm not sure the fee. I think that 23.6 might be a little bit too much, but again, we've got to remember he's a young boy. He's only 23. Did I just say 24?
I just looked it up. Feyenoord won the Eredivisie by 1 point over Ajax.
Feyenoord, fuck me, they were like fourth, I think, the season before.
Yeah,
so
PSV come third. So
yeah, so there you go. I think I don't think it's bad business. I think he is a good player, mate. I've seen him play a few times. I think he's Danish, isn't he? I don't think he's actually
Danish.
Dutch, or is he Dutch?
I think he's Danish. It could be.
Klaassen's French.
Netherlands. Yeah, he's Dutch.
He is Dutch. He has 14 caps.
Oh no, that's place of birth.
Member of the he is a Dutch national side, so he must be. It must be Dutch. Now has 14 caps to his name, and he's scored 4 times for the Dutch team. I'm not being funny. 14 caps and scored 4 goals. You know, he's an international, obviously. Klaassen went on, having his debut at Ajax as 18 years old in 2011. Klaassen went on to make 163 appearances in total with 49 goals. That, for an attacking midfielder, is pretty fucking decent. So maybe that 23.6 for a 24-year-old with 49 goals and 163 appearances is probably about right. It's probably about right. It's good business by the sounds of things. Next, he looks a bit of a beast as well, mate. He looks strong as fuck. He does.
Looks like he could be a good player. Next one, I think this is one for the future. Henry Onyenkuru.
Yeah, mate. This boy looks.
You probably not heard much of him, but he looks like he could be a player. 1997, so he's 19. They signed him from a team called.
Deal.
Who did they sign him?
He was on loan apparently at Anderlecht.
He was on loan at Anderlecht, yeah, and he played for Eupen. Not heard of them.
Not heard of Eupen. Apparently,
he played really well last season. Fair enough. But he played really well last season for Anderlecht. I think he was one of the best performers in the league.
I'm not being funny, mate, but Anderlecht were a surprisingly very, very young team that done very, very well, to be honest. I know it's a Belgium league and that, but Anderlecht done all right in the Champions League as well. I like Anderlecht. They're one of those teams that literally just live off of youth. They have very little Belgian experience.
They're all the same, the Belgian teams. I like them. They do the right things in terms of youth.
In fact, they've actually, just looking at the outs quickly, Everton have actually loaned him back out to Anderlecht, which is probably the best move they could have done.
Yeah, that was probably what it was. That was where I got confused.
Yeah.
The last one, I got Cuco Martina. He played for Southampton. He's not the best of players. I think they probably just got him as a replacement. And Sandro Ramirez, I've not heard of him.
I recognise the name. I recognise the name. I'm pretty sure he is a striker. I do recognise the name, mate. 21-year-old, believed to be 5.25. Former Barcelona striker Ramirez scored 16 goals in 31 appearances for Malaga last season, but says he joined the club. Says he joined the ideal club, so it looks like he was the second off the bench striker, if you like. Presumably. 16 goals in 31 appearances, though, in one season. That's pretty decent.
Not too bad.
I think 5.25. He's a young boy, mate.
For a young player.
Yeah, young boy. He's only 21, 5.25. 16 goals in 31 appearances. You can't grumble at that. I mean, let's be fair.
Yeah.
La Liga's not exactly the easiest places to play, although La Liga players do struggle in England. I guess it's just a question of waiting and seeing with Ramirez. And how much game time he's going to get. Obviously, losing Lukaku, presumably, Rooney's not going to be their main man because of obviously age. No. So presumably, Sandro Ramirez is going to be their main man. Let's hope it's good enough for him because they got to wait till January if they do want to get anyone else.
So Flawless has said on the topic of Anderlecht, Ajax are very similar as well, and I do like Ajax as well.
Yeah, I like Ajax as well. Ajax and Anderlecht.
They've always done it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I like both of them. Crap, his only good game was against Man City. Who was that?
I think that was about Pickford, but I'm not sure.
About it. Say De Gea is 6 times better than Pickford. Does that make him 180 million? No, because De Gea's older. I think
not by much.
I know it's not by much, but he is older, and to be fair, De Gea's good now. When he first went to United, he was fucking awful. I mean, the amount of blunders that he made. I think it was like 2 seasons solid, and they were close because they got that Argentinian fella, didn't they? And they were pretty much playing him. He's just signed a new deal, actually.
Sergio Romero's always been second choice. They only started playing him when Louis van Gaal was in charge, is when De Gea was wanting to move to Real.
Right. But he was the only time he terrible when he first started.
He was really bad in his first season. But again, you know, first season in the Premier League, he was 20 when he first
Flawless was on about Stecklenburg. Crap, only good game. He's terrible,
Yeah, he is crap. I'm not a fan of him. No.
Ramirez, I hope he's good. They have got Lookman anyway, so if Ramirez doesn't... If Ramirez doesn't do anything, Lookman is a very good player. I like Lookman. I bought him for Plymouth on FIFA.
I signed him this season before on FIFA as well. I think
he's a really great player. He's rapid and he develops immensely well. So on that note, it's not surprising that Premier League clubs picked him up.
At 17 years old, he was on the bench and playing for Charlton in the Championship. So and he comes straight in, and that was the game where Everton dicked Man City last season.
Didn't he score on his debut? Yeah.
Come in and scored against Man City.
Yeah.
That was that game where that Tom Davies showed up. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, I remember, mate. He's a good player, mate. I like Lookman. So if Ramirez is going to be their number one, and it fails, I think Lookman can definitely do a job until January, where they might have to pick up another forward. It just depends on how good this Ramirez is, I think.
So then we got out, obviously, the big one, Lukaku. We'll get onto that.
Yeah,
Aidan McGeady to Sunderland. He wasn't playing much for Everton.
Nah, he wasn't.
Just dropped down a division. And the other one, Gerard Deulofeu.
That's a weird one, mate. Why Barcelona
had a buyback clause on him? They had a buyback clause on him, which is why
he did have a good season for Everton, so maybe that's the reason why they bought
Barcelona
him back.
Have done what Real Madrid done when they bought back Morata.
Yeah,
him back to try and make some.
I don't think they will make any dollar on him though, mate, because he had a terrible second half of the season.
No, but
the other one that's quite surprising is Tom Cleverley out to Watford. That was interesting.
He wasn't playing really much for them.
He wasn't. He wasn't. I totally agree with that. I think it's Tom Cleverley's probably pushed that rather than more than anything.
And Lookman at Everton's top youngsters. I agree with that, Flawless. Yeah, sorry.
Tom Davies and Lookman at Everton's. Yeah, definitely agree with that. 100%. I think Cleverley has probably pushed that through because I think he will definitely get game time at Watford. So that's probably him that's pushed that through rather than Everton themselves. Because he is one of those decent fringe players if someone gets injured.
And the other one the other top young player I have for them is that Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's played quite well for the England England under 20 he played for. He scored quite a few goals, and he played quite well in the Europa League qualifiers they've been playing recently.
Okay, fair enough.
These another one to look for. I didn't really click Everton.
Leon. Was it Leon? Leon? What did you say his name was?
Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Lewin.
His surname's Calvert-Lewin.
Calvert-Lewin, fair enough.
Yeah.
I got to say, on the grand scheme of things, I think Everton have done some fantastic
Everton have done some good business, and it's going to be interesting to see how that pays off this season.
I really hope it does for them, because they've spent a lot of money. I hope it at least gets them into the Europa League. I think it will. I think they've only strengthened, really. I mean, I know they've lost Lukaku, which was one of their main men, but they've strengthened in other positions rather than up top. So I think that the strengthening at the back end is definitely only going to favour them. And let's be fair, if Ramirez doesn't do the job, they've got 90 million sat in the kitty there waiting to spend on a striker in January. So I think great business from Everton, in my opinion. And I think they're looking to offload Lennon as well, which is, again, probably good business for them. So
next we've got Huddersfield. Now, I'm not sure on quite a few of these players that they signed.
I don't know a lot of them.
On a few.
I'm pretty sure we both know the same one.
Tom Ince, I think, was the one that's standing out.
Yeah.
Tom Ince, obviously a winger, a very good player on his day. Was he Blackpool? I think he played in the Premier League.
He did play in the Premier League.
I don't know if he did play in the Premier League.
He was on the fringe at Blackpool because he was still very young.
When they went down, and the season they got into the playoffs with Ian Holloway still in charge.
That's right.
I'm sure went downhill. He
then signed for Derby.
And he's been playing very well in the Championship the last 2 seasons.
I hope that it's a good buy for Huddersfield.
I hope it's a good buy for Huddersfield and Tom Ince himself.
Yeah, because I like him as a player. I think he's a good little player. He's very, very quick. The only thing that worries me about him in the Premier League, mate, is he's very fragile looking.
Yeah,
he's got a real small frame, isn't he? Nah, he doesn't look strong at all. It's the only thing that worries me about him. And for Huddersfield to blitz 10 million on him, I mean, it's good money if he can get his strength sorted. Because I think that the players in the Premier League are going to be a lot stronger than Championship.
Yeah.
But they're
Definitely.
dirtier in the Championship, I suppose. A little bit more tougher and rough and tougher. But his frame, he's so small framed, man.
Yeah.
Let's hope he's just quick enough to get away from anyone to touch him, I think. Who's Aaron Moy?
Aaron Moy. He
From City.
They had him on loan last season. I believe he's an Australian international. I believe. I'm not
Ario,
100%.
how's it going, dude? It has been a while. Go on, sorry, mate.
I think he's a centre midfielder. He's 21. He's one of those players that City are never going to use.
Fair enough. 8 million for 21-year-old. It's not bad. They obviously wanted him, mate, for the sense of spending 8 million on him. If he's been on loan last season, they've obviously pushed that through.
Next one, Scott
really
Malone.
Oh, Maloney, I know Malone. Yeah.
He's a left back from Fulham. I know that much. I've signed him before, Football Manager. That's as much as I know on him.
Yeah.
Not sure how good he's. Yeah, and Daniel Williams from Reading. I know Reading made the playoffs last season. They made the playoff final against Huddersfield.
This Danny Williams isn't a bad player, actually, mate. He's another young boy as well. I'm sure he's quite young. I haven't got his age here, but I'm sure he's quite young.
I looked at his date of birth was 89.
So he's 4 years younger than me, so he's about 26 ish. So they've got him on a free. Like you say, mate, Reading made the playoffs last season, didn't they? So I think that's probably all right.
So just round
off, I mean, who's this Steve Mooney from Montpellier?
Steve Mooney, I don't know. I've not heard of him before.
Oh, he's a striker. I tell you what, mate. He's a big boy. 22 years old. They signed him for about 11 million. So it's interesting to see how many goals did he get for Mooney. Scored 14 goals in 32 appearances in League One last season, placing him among the top 10 scorers in France, and did not need a work permit due to his foul. Who cares about a work permit? So 14 goals, top 10 striker in France. That's not a bad signing for Huddersfield.
That is not a bad signing. What else have we got? I've got Laurent Depoitre. He played for Porto last season.
Well, hang on then. Let's have a look. Oh, he looks old. 28. Okay, so that's a bit of experience. 6'3" tall striker. Okay, so they've gone for something a little bit different to Mooney there. He's a Belgian Pro League and Super Cup winner. That's pretty much all they've got on him. They haven't got how many goals he scored or anything like that. So presumably he is literally just there to head a ball, because if they're not reporting on how many goals he scored, he obviously fucking didn't score many. There you go.
I've got here a comment from Adam. Huddersfield have signed players that want and have to prove themselves in the Prem. Could be amazing or really fall flat on their face. Okay. And also Adam's put, if he does well, talking about ints, then they could have a quality player on their hands. I think we agree on that one.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you. If the boy does well in the Premier League, I can't see him staying at Huddersfield. If he has a great season and bangs in, say, 13, 14 goals from the wing, with a few assists in there as well, I'm pretty sure if Huddersfield get relegated, he won't be playing for Huddersfield next season. No. Pretty certain of that.
So they got a defender from Copenhagen, Matthias Jorgensen. He's 25. I just looked at. I'm not sure what he can do. Again, as I said, he's one of them players that if they do well, they want to prove themselves. If they do well.
I mean, FC Copenhagen are one of those teams that have been getting into the Champions League a lot recently.
Champions League and doing quite well, yeah.
Presumably, he must be a decent. It said he was a defender, right?
Yeah.
So I think he'll be all right. Depends, like I think Ads is right. I think these literally the whole bunch of Huddersfield guys they've got in here could just fall flat on their face in the Premier League, or they could surprise someone. With the signings they've made, if all of these guys surprise you, they could actually avoid relegation with that team. Yeah. They could avoid relegation with them players by the looks of it. I mean, a guy from Porto, a guy from Copenhagen, guy from Montpellier, Man City youngster, Tom Ince. Casey Palmer on loan from Chelsea. I don't know a lot about this fella. 20-year-old attacking midfielder. They could do very well. If all of these don't fall on their face, mate, I think that could be enough. Other than Brighton that we looked at, that could be enough to save them.
Yeah. I mean, one of their guys.
Because Burnley haven't done a hell of a lot, mate.
No, they haven't. No.
So it could be enough, mate. It could be enough. It actually worries me where I've put them in my prediction now.
It was me a little bit, but yeah, the day. You saw one for it. They've got a guy here anyway that I looked at his profile. His name's Colin Quainer, signed in from VFR Alan. His position is unknown, so
Fucking hell.
that shows what they signed. They, I mean, they must have scouted them.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
who would have
Just
said
because
when
Sky.
Leicester signed Mahrez, who's going to do well?
Yeah, there you go. And outs, obviously, there's probably no point in us even bothering with outs for Huddersfield.
I looked at them. I didn't recognise any of their names.
Yeah, I don't recognise.
Harry Bunn I recognise, but I don't know. Yeah. So next on to Leicester.
Yep, Leicester up.
So again, with Huddersfield, just to say they could be good, could be bad. We don't know.
Yeah, I
I
think if all of those players do pull it out of the bag and have a good season in the Premier League, I think that it could save Huddersfield. I think it could keep them up.
Could.
But there's a massive word in there, like Jakey's just pointed out, is the big fat could.
Could.
I think it's just going to be a question to wait and see how they gel as a team. I mean, there's a lot of guys they've brought in there that they're expecting to play together. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They've basically signed a whole new team. So if they gel, I think they'll do all right. Let's be fair, Leicester done all right when they came up. Done a similar sort of thing, really, didn't they? Bought a lot of unknowns, and it worked out well in their favour.
I mean,
admittedly,
in the end,
a lot
they were
of teams.
Start, weren't they?
Yeah. The thing is, as well, is admittedly all the big name teams had poor season that season. That's not likely to happen this season, I don't think. So we'll see. Leicester.
We'll see Huddersfield, as they would be my Prem tier. Adam's supporting Huddersfield this season.
Oh,
I suppose that's the underdog story.
Oh, interesting.
So next up on the topic, we were just talking about them, is Leicester City.
Yep, Leicester City.
Big name in 25 million, Kelechi Iheanacho.
Yeah, that big name. I really am a massive fan of Iheanacho. I think there is a buyback clause with Iheanacho as well.
Obviously, I mean, but again, like Bournemouth,
it's always going to be more than what they paid. I think Iheanacho is a fantastic signing for him, and let's be fair, he will more than likely play up top with Vardy. But for the last 2 seasons, Vardy, 2 seasons? Well, last season especially, Vardy was terrible. After such a good season the season before, they needed a striker again. Yeah, and a lower or whatever his name is, and Okazaki and all the rest of the other forwards that they do play up top with.
They haven't got. I mean, Okazaki. Let's give it to him. He puts in a shift.
Oh yeah, mate. The boy doesn't stop running. Okazaki does not stop running. But Iheanacho is a different class compared to all those names that we've just mentioned. I think Iheanacho is a sick player. Yep, there is a buyback clause. Man City wouldn't let him go unless there was. Yeah, I heard that. I think that because that deal was on the fringe for a long time, and I think that's probably what they were sorting out.
Next up, they've got a pair in from Hull City. Harry Maguire, one of them. 50 million buyback. Tommy Plays just put for Iheanacho.
Wow.
Harry Maguire for 17 million. I think he's another one of those players like Keane that Everton signed.
He's a centre half, isn't he, Maguire?
Centre half, yeah. He was definitely one of Hull City's best players last season.
Definitely one of Hull City's best players. I totally agree with that. I remember him in the FA Cup final against Arsenal, mate, as well, when we beat him in the FA Cup. He was a very, very good player in that game as well. So that's a good signing when you think that...
He's one of those guys that's putting a shift to get where he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he was Sheffield United when they were down in League 2, He was putting in a shift for them.
He also... he's better than that fella that they had at the centre-back position. Can't think what his name is now.
Leicester or Hull?
Leicester,
Robert Hoof or...
Hoof. He's much better than Hoof, mate. So I think that's a good buy. 17 million again. With the price tag of defenders.
22-year-old English centre back.
Yeah, with the price tag of defenders and obviously the fact that he's English, I don't think it's a horrendous fee. It is steep, but let's be fair. With Leicester winning the Premier League the season before, they've definitely got money to spend. So I don't think it's a bad signing. As for the other one, Jakupovic.
Eldin Jakupovic. I think they've signed him because I've looked from the outs. They sold Ron Robert Zyler, who I will say is crap.
Yeah, is it Zyler or Zila? It's the German
I don't
fella,
know.
isn't it?
He was very
Zieler?
good.
It's Zieler by the looks of it. He's gone to Stuttgart as well. So I think Stuttgart had a good season last season as well, didn't they?
Well, I think he's probably going to go again to be a backup, but LJ, I think Jakupovic is just going to be a backup.
Yeah, he's just going to be a backup, that sounds like.
Vicente Iborra, 12.5
Iborra,
million.
mate. This boy's decent. I like Iborra.
I like him, yeah. He's a good big bloke. He's
29. So 12 and a half's about right.
He's got a good bit of experience. He's played for Sevilla
for a long old time.
Yeah. And he's definitely going to be one of them that's... I think he's going to be a player that's not going to surprise people how well he plays, I think.
Yeah, he's a decent player, mate. I really like Vincent Iborra. I think, again, like yourself, obviously I watch more La Liga than I do any other football in Europe, other than obviously the Premier League. And I've watched this boy for seasons now, and I think he's a very good player.
Very good player. A defensive midfielder from a team.
I was going to say, I was just about to say, I'm sure he was their captain. I've literally just clicked on his name, and it does say Leicester confirms signing of Sevilla captain Vincent Iborra.
Right.
So I thought he was. I like Iborra, mate. He's a good player. 12.5 million, not bad. 29-year-old. I'm guessing they probably got him on a 3-year contract. I'm pretty sure he'll give them back 12.5 million worth of football because he's a good player.
And we got a chap named George Thomas from Coventry. I don't know much about him. Apparently, it was just under 500,000, so I assume he's going to be a younger player.
Yeah, I haven't got him, but I have got a Chester captain Sam Hughes, 20-year-old, has signed a 3-year deal for a Premier League club. In the region of 130 grand, so it looks like it's going to be one for the future rather than anything now as well. So
yeah, I mean, he's a guy from National League as well, Chester.
Yeah.
And then all I've got in the outs is Ron Robert Zeiler.
Zeiler's the only one. I mean, for me, Leicester retaining is definitely good for them. If they can keep hold of Mahrez as well. I know Mahrez didn't have a great season last season, but
I think we'll get into in a bit. I think.
Yeah, I think Leicester so far very, very, very good business. In Iborra and Iheanacho alone. And they've strengthened at the back, which is what they needed to do because they were extremely slow at the back. And I know that Maguire's not exactly Linford Christie or Usain Bolt, but he is quicker than Hoof, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Wes Morgan.
That's the one, Wes Morgan. So I think Leicester have done good business. I think they've done all right there.
Yeah. Well done, Leicester. I think next up is Liverpool.
Yep, scum. Oh, fucking mate.
I must admit, as a Man United fan, I hate Chelsea more than I hate Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't like Chelsea
Liverpool
either.
Are a bigger rival. Yeah.
I've got to be honest. Before we even start on Liverpool, I honestly feel like they have not done fuck all. Like, if this is a team, that wants to be in the Champions League, right? This is not enough because I thought they were average at best last season. And would you say that they're strengthening with these 3 guys that they've got?
Yes, with Andrew Robertson, 100%. He is much better than Moreno
as a left back. Yeah, well, they need a left back anyway because let's be fair, you can't play Milner there all fucking season. That's just silly. No. So all right. So the left back, fair enough. But to be fair, mate, I didn't realise that they signed him. That must be a recent one.
I think it was quite early actually. Robertson.
Was it 21st of July? It looks like here.
No, so it wasn't too long ago.
Yeah. So yeah, fair enough. That one's left back wise. They needed a left back anyway. I mean, to be fair, they could have signed anyone. It would have been better than Moreno. He is fucking awful. But Mohamed Salah for 34.3 million. I think this is well overspent.
On my one, they've got a typo and it's got Mohamed Salah £34.
They actually signed left back. Moreno's dog shit, and Milner is no left back. Yeah, I agree with that. Ads. Milner is no left back. I'm sure
Salah, 34 million. Yeah, it's quite a bit. Again, this market and the Premier League
thing is,
premium.
Mate, is Salah for me is literally just quick.
Yeah, he hasn't got much about his game. I mean, he's got a brain. He's definitely a clever footballer, but in terms of what he can do, it isn't. I mean, cleverness alone doesn't get you very far.
No, I mean 34.3. I mean, admittedly, it's because he's 25. He's not nowhere near past it. I just don't think that they're strengthening with Salah. I don't think it's enough.
I mean, they've got a bit extra pace about them because at the minute they've only got Mane as their pace. They haven't got much else in the way of pace.
Yeah.
So they got something else to add to the team. I mean, Mane's definitely better.
I tell you what,
Mane's better than Salah.
Salah coming in looks like they're going to lose Coutinho.
Yeah.
There's just not enough for me for Liverpool. They haven't done enough.
Jamie's just
what is football?
What is a football?
You don't worry yourself about what is a football.
And the other one is Dominic Solanke, isn't he? Guy from Chelsea. I mean, he's another one of those players that Chelsea could have done something with. And
I agree with that. I
snapped him up.
It looks like
Chelsea fans aren't happy with him for leaving.
In fact, it looks like they're going to get him for about 3 million as well.
Something like this on
19-year-old for 3 million. I mean, I've not seen a hell of a lot of him, but he looks
definitely
a beast.
He's a guy that's been tipped for quite a while.
Yeah, I've heard his name plenty.
Yeah, and then I think we need to start rushing through some of this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Lucas Leiva, the notable out, I think there, 5 million to Lazio. I think he was getting past it now. He was struggling to cope with the pace of the league.
I mean, that's another good thing for Liverpool so far. They haven't lost anyone.
They got 5 million out of
it. Kevin Stewart as well is a shame because he was tipped to be quite decent. But hey, so what?
He literally sounded like you're speaking a different language. Cheers, Jamie.
Football, go Cowboys! Joke. I know which football you're talking about. Liverpool have just rejected a 90 million bid for Coutinho. Yeah, he's standing strong on Coutinho. I don't think that's going to get pushed through. So I think he's still be wearing a Liverpool shirt.
We'll get onto in a bit as well.
Right, let's get through these then because we've got so much to do still. Start rushing now, guys. So if you are a fan of the latter of these teams, we do apologise, but time is becoming pushed.
Time is coming, yeah. So next up, we've got Man City. In Danilo from Real Madrid, 26.9 million. I know he's a good right back.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he is.
He can play left back. He was second choice to Carvajal and Marcelo, but he's a guy that can be utilised quite a bit. Benjamin Mendy from
obviously
Monaco,
another Monaco. I mean, let's be fair, City have literally just winced Monaco here.
I've only got 3 on here, so you might have to help me a bit out.
Right, so Benjamin Mendy, Monaco for 49.2. Again,
he's another defender.
We've already spoke a lot about Monaco players so far, so these are literally going to be, in our opinion, potential ex-Leicester players that haven't quite made it, but we'll only time will tell. Got Bernardo Silva from Monaco for 43.
He's supposed to be a really good player.
He is probably the only one that I know is decent. I mean, Benjamin Mendy as well, don't get me wrong. I've heard a lot of Mendy. I think he's a good player as well. Edison from Benfica, 34.7.
I think they've overpaid for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, massively. I think they're massively overpaid there.
He's not even got a cap for Brazil yet. So
yeah, massively overpaid for him, mate. I especially when they're getting rid of Joe Hart. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah. But Carl Walker, Tottenham for 50. I think that is ridiculous.
That's way too much.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's the English premium now.
Yeah.
For England right back. I mean, he's a good player on his day.
He is, mate. He is on his day, but I don't think he's the best right back in the Premier League, which is pretty much what that £50 million price tag's telling you. And I'm very surprised Tottenham let him go, although they have got Trippier.
Yeah, then they seem to be quite a fan of Trippier.
Well, Walker was injured for a lot of it, so Trippier was pretty much playing, wasn't he? So, and the other one they've got is some guy from Vasco da Gama, which I know is a Brazilian team, called Douglas Luiz, which don't know a lot about him, to be honest, at all. Definitely don't watch Brazilian.
So outs I've got Fernando to Galatasaray, undisclosed. It was another one that was on the fringes of the first team. He was a bit reckless in my eyes. It was one of those players that would get it stuck in, but go too far and wasn't very clever with it, and get himself sent off quite a bit.
I mean, these boys
we discussed.
They've released a lot of guys.
For 4
Kolarov, he's a Jakey.
My controller turned off.
Oh, I wonder what happened then.
Kolarov to Roma, 4.5. Again, he was one of those, like we were talking about before, where he was struggling to keep up with the pace.
Obviously, the release here, mate, have got to be spoken about. Javis Navas, Bakary Sagna. I'm pretty sure Gael Clichy. Yeah, Gael Clichy was released as well. It's a lot of releasing at the back, isn't it?
They released quite a lot, but they were all crap.
Yeah, mate.
That's the best way to put it.
I mean,
they weren't very good.
as an Arsenal fan, it pleases me immensely to see that Gael Clichy and Bakary Sagna have been released from Man City. It makes me very happy. Nolito out. That was probably inevitable.
Yeah, he never got going.
Zabaleta to West Ham. Obviously, we'll come to that anyway, but I think that's good for West Ham.
Yeah.
And as for the rest of them, Joe Hart's the only other one, which again, very, very good for West Ham. I think personally, Man City typically have overspent on getting the man they want. I think is the best way to put this. And I hope that the Monaco players don't do fuck all for them.
So what we got next? Man United.
Mr. Man United. I mean, we don't have to talk too much about the ins because they've fucking hardly done anything.
Victor Lindelof again, a guy. He overspent on him.
Jakey. Oh, is it finished? Is it? Okay, no problem. Yeah, sorry. Go on, Jakey.
Victor Lindelof, 31 million. I think they've overspent. He's a 22-year-old. He's a centre back.
Yeah,
he does look like he could be a very good player, though.
Yeah, he does.
I would have said that's a bit too much on him.
I think you're right, mate. I think it's a little bit too much. I mean, he does look huge. And to be fair, United needed a centre half. I think they've overspent, but again, I think it's one of those where they've obviously been scouting this boy for a while, and they've got the man they want.
But when you look at it, they spent £1 million for more than what Everton did on Michael Keane.
Yeah, I think
he's 2 years younger. So
I think
swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, it does swing and roundabouts. We'll
Robin
leave
Lukaku, 75 million. Yes, it's way too much.
Oh yeah, 90? It's 90 because of the fees, isn't it? There's like fees that are going to be pinned on. Yeah, Sky sources say the fee could eventually rise to 90 million. I think it depends on how he gets on. So I know it's 75, but I mean, I think personally, I know Lukaku's a good player, but for me, mate, if you're going to go spend 70 to 90 million, potentially is what it could be. Why? For me, mate, Man United have gone for a replacement for Ibrahimovic rather than going for bigger. For me, mate, Man United should have gone for 8 million and gone and got Aubameyang. In my personal opinion, I expect Man United to be doing deals like that. I don't think that Lukaku is horrendous, mate. He will score goals for you boys. But as for quality-wise, I think Aubameyang, for me, is a much, much, much better for Lukaku. I don't think Lukaku's a £70 million player, in my opinion. I
don't think he's a £70 million player. But the thing I like about him is he is a player that is proven goal scorer and the 20
in the
goals
Premier League.
Season
in the Premier League, yeah.
That's the only thing that singles him out from Aubameyang.
I totally agree. Although I don't for 1 minute think that, obviously the German league being so similar to the Premier League, I don't for 1 minute think Aubameyang would have scored you goals. I think he'd have done, if not better. But only time will tell. I really hope Lukaku does well for United.
Lukaku's been putting them in.
Only problem that I've got with it, mate, is sadly I think we're going to see the fucking Route 1 football again from Manchester United this season, which sucks ass.
They've done. I mean, I saw some. I watched the highlights of the match yesterday, the European Super Cup.
They looked all right in that, mate. It seemed to be more wing play, crossing the ball in. Yeah. So hopefully it's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not going to be Route 1, because that's not United. That's not how United play, in my opinion.
No. I think they're a counter-attacking team, but not a hoof to the strike big man.
Nah, which is pretty much what they did last season, and it just didn't look nice. I know it won them games, but let's let Chelsea do that. United are so well known for being a dominantly attacking team. Their attitude is they will outscore you rather than outplay you, especially under the Ferguson era. I just think playing this lumping football up to Ibrahimovic. I'm glad Ibrahimovic got injured, to be honest, mate, because I hope that Man United are going to get back to their old ways, because this football's terrible. Nemanja Matic, 40 million. I've got mixed opinions on him. I like Matic, but I don't know if he's 40 million.
I wouldn't have said it was 40 million, but he is one of them little pricks, as teams will say, that will get in your face.
He will break up play, mate. He will break up play. And he will get
it going again.
And he will get it. He is an engine as well. He's definitely not going to get you goals, but
no.
But when he will stop goals. He will stop goals.
Yes.
With
And then
unlucky for
noticeable.
United yesterday. Flawless. Did you watch the same game as me? Real Madrid were fucking all over you.
With Mkhitaryan and Rashford and Lukaku, and not to mention Martial as well, Flawless.
Yeah,
Who should be able
Martial.
to
Yeah,
counter
Martial
attacks,
is a great player.
I like Martial. Yeah.
If
Noticeable.
counter attacking will be good. But
Yeah, hopefully. I agree with Adam. Then they need a proven Premiership scorer. How many strikers have come into the Premier League and failed?
loads. One to note,
Loads.
which makes me laugh lots. Well, it makes me laugh because he went to Spurs, but matey boy that literally only scored penalties for Spurs that came from Valencia. What the fuck was his name?
Oh,
again?
what's it called? Soldado.
Yeah, mate. I'll
Roberto
tell you what. For
Soldado.
Valencia, that boy
he was a lazy
sick.
prick. I think he was lazy in the Premier League. I think
He was, mate.
he come over thinking he was going to be all this, but yeah.
He was terrible for Spurs, but fantastic for Valencia. And I feel a bit sorry for him because it just did not click at Spurs at all. But it also makes me laugh because Spurs.
As much.
Eh?
Yeah. I don't think he put the effort in as much as what he did.
No,
when
he
was at
didn't, mate.
Valencia.
He seemed a lot more energetic at Valencia.
Yeah. And he went
and he
back
didn't
to
do-
Spain and put in a shift again. So
Yeah. So there's obviously not a hell of a lot of outs for United, obviously, apart from Zlatan Ibrahimovic being released. But that was always going to be happening because obviously he's only got a year on his contract. Pretty sure they ain't going to pay his wages while his knee's busted.
No.
Obviously,
however, they are looking at getting him back again.
Yeah, there's massive rumours on that. Massive rumour. The other one is Januzaj to Real
Sociedad for just under 10 million. Again, he's a player that's got a buyback clause in.
Right, because I'll tell you what, I like Januzaj. He's not ready for United yet, but I like him.
Yeah, and I think he's one of those players that if he does make it and comes back, he will do well.
Yeah.
So it's the one we've got to wait and see on.
Okay, right, racing through.
Yeah. Newcastle. Florian Lejeune, I think he's a centre-back. He's a big bloke from Ibar for
Christ, he is
8.7 million.
Yeah, he's a big old boy. 26-year-old.
26-year-old.
Ibar, Ibar, one of those teams that done pretty well. They overachieved, didn't they?
Yeah, they kept themselves going.
Christian Atsu from Chelsea's a good buy for Newcastle.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's going to be a good player. Next, they got Javi Manquillo from Atletico Madrid. Now, Javi Manquillo...
I'm pretty sure this boy's decent, isn't he?
He was crap for Liverpool. They got rid of him.
Oh, is this the Liverpool fella? Yeah, I know you're on about that.
And Sunderland loaned him in last season. He didn't really stand out.
Yeah, no, he was terrible for...
Newcastle have got him in proper.
He was terrible for Liverpool. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Good luck, Newcastle, with that one.
Jacob Murphy. I believe he's a young English left winger. I believe. Oh, he's got midfield here.
Money, 12 million for a young boy. Because I don't reckon.
95, so he's 21. He's been going quite well in the England 21s, and he played for Norwich. I believe he played in the Premier League for Norwich. So.
Yeah. Well, if he's played in the if he's played Premier League, and that's only a plus for Newcastle personally.
Then we've got Stefan O'Connor and Joseph Yanni. I'm not heard of either of those two too much. Joseph Yanni was Everton under 21s.
That's why they've bought. That's why they've bought that. Jacob Murphy's a winger, mate. They've offloaded on Tuvin or whatever his name is.
Sorry, on Tuvin, he was shit, and they got rid of Gouffron as well. It was pretty bad.
Gouffron was terrible, but he's played Premier League for a while. He is terrible. I mean, who the hell Goztepe is where Gouffron's gone to. That's how shit he is. No one wants him apart from the Goztepe.
They got rid of some terrible players. Looking at that, Lumir Saka, never heard of him.
I think they've only offloaded some shit, haven't they? They haven't got rid of anyone.
Never performed, and Sammy Amiobi again, not the best of players.
I've got to be honest, though, mate. I don't think that's enough to. I don't think it's enough. I know they won. Did they win the championship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took it on the last day to Brighton. Took it off Brighton.
I'm not sure, mate. With Manquillo, terrible. Not entirely sure on Luane, but he looks massive. Atsu's a good buy, but compared to the other championship sides that have come up, I think these guys have probably done the least amount of good business. I suppose only time will tell.
But they've got Rafa Benitez, and you know what he's like. He knows what he's doing. I think
that's fair. Rafa Benitez will pretty much fucking drag him across the line.
Newcastle completed the signing of midfielder Mikel Merino on a season-long loan from Borussia Dortmund.
Merino.
Spanish under 21 international. I thought he was.
That can only be good for them.
That could be a good player. He's good size, has quality on the ball, and is very, very focused and professional.
Happy
He's a
days.
midfielder with talent, so see what happens with him.
I think that they look like they've offloaded a load of shite, to be fair. So I think that that's good for him. Get him off the wages, because I'm pretty sure Gouffran was on quite a bit of a stack up there.
Terrible. Never
he's terrible.
Anything.
Sammy Amiobi, he's already tried the Premier League. He's no good. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see with Newcastle. I think they've done the least out of the 3 championship sides by the looks of it, but time will tell.
They got Benitez, and who knows with him.
Southampton. Okay.
Southampton. Now they haven't done much in my end. I don't know how much they got for them. They've just signed Mario Lemina from Juventus. He's a Gabon international. He signed for about 12 million.
20 million.
And he was playing for Juventus last season, so
started for him.
Could be a good player. Started quite a bit for them as well, yeah.
Okay, well, I tell you what. One thing I will say is the Southampton board, especially, are very good at picking up these players, because they do it every season. They seem to know who they're looking for. And Jan Bednarek.
I mean,
Lok Poznan are the Polish champions, aren't they? I think so. Again, we've said it before. If you're a champion in Europe, obviously coming from a champion side,
they've done something right.
So, yeah, that's it. The only thing that's a shame is seeing him get rid of Jay Rodriguez, but at least he's staying in the Premier League, which is good.
I think we'll get onto him in a bit.
Yeah, get onto him in a minute. As for the rest of them, I think it is just a case of offloading some shit again, isn't it?
Yeah, Jason McCarthy, I don't know who he is. That's the one that comes off for me.
Yeah, no idea who the rest of them are.
Next
I've got like Lloyd Isgrove, Harley Willard, Martin Caceres. I don't know
Martin Caceres. Martin Caceres was he's a centre back. He used to play for Juventus, but he's really injury prone and not the best.
Greatest signing so far this transfer window. Lacazette to Arsenal. Nah, I would say I think that's a tricky one. So far out of the teams we've gone through, it's definitely not Morata to Chelsea.
I think it was one of them. Fuck off.
Trust Kevin Smith.
I think. See, it depends on what happens. Obviously, it could be one of them. One of the new teams coming up. I mean, is it Everton have made some good.
Everton have made some good players. Bruno Alves to Rangers. We
don't
bother talking. We don't bother talk. Ooh, Rangers. We don't talk Scottish football here. Right, Stoke City.
Darren... So I got, in Darren Fletcher.
Yeah,
again, he's still a player on his day. He can still perform.
Yeah, I think he'll do all right at Stoke. Surprised he's left West Brom to go Stoke. So I think they're pretty much similar teams, but he's obviously fancies a change.
Yeah. Maxim Choupo-Moting on a free from Schalke.
I haven't got that one up here.
He's a player. I think he's going to be one that he's a striker / wing. I think he's not. I think he's about 24, 25.
Okay.
I think he puts in a good effort. I'm not sure. I don't really watch much Bundesliga. He is a striker. Yeah, 1989. So he's about 25, 26.
Tell you what, mate.
Like that.
For Stoke, for me, just looking at the guys they have got in, it's got to be Kurt Zuma on loan from Chelsea, mate. That's a steal for Stoke.
Yes,
that's a great sign.
Very good sign. So, yeah. I mean, Chelsea, they haven't got many defenders, and they've loaned them out, which I didn't see sense in. But
no, I didn't either, and I don't think Kurt Zuma's absolutely terrible to be loaning him out to another Premier League club, because they don't like doing that very often. So presumably Zuma's on his way out of Chelsea eventually.
Yeah,
I think that's a great signing for Stoke, Kurt Zuma.
And Josh Tymon, he's a young, 1999, so that's 3 years younger than me. So he's 17.
Right.
Oh, was he that guy that was? He was playing first team for. He was playing first team for Hull last season. Yeah, and he was
been capped by England at under 17, 18, and under 20 level, and he was regarded as a feature senior international by senior figures at Hull. Okay.
Yeah, so he could be he's on a 5-year deal, so that could be a good one. I think I've got undisclosed. I've got 3 here.
I've got undisclosed as well. Let's have a look here.
I've got 3 from unsigned players. So it looks as if he's left Hull.
Yeah.
To move to bigger things. So good. Yeah, that could be a good thing for Stoke.
Hopefully he plays.
Tymon himself. Yeah, and it's another guy to look out for. Then outs, we talked Phil Bartley, we talked John Walters, Glenn Whelan again wasn't playing much,
Nah.
and Marco Almatovic, I'm sure we get onto in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swansea.
So yeah, good
They
business,
needed to do something, Swansea, I think. Yeah, I think Stoke have done really well there, to be honest.
Yeah.
They haven't got a lot of money floating around.
No.
I think Kurt Zuma in on loan's a great sign.
Yeah.
Darren Fletcher, shame for West Brom because I think he'll do well at Stoke as well.
Yeah.
And this Timon fella sounds pretty decent, so I think good business from Stoke, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Shame they've lost Arnautovic, though. That's the only thing I think is the shame for Stoke.
So next up is Swansea. Last season they were lucky to stay up. Last season.
Yeah, they were, mate. And they've done nothing here, have they, really?
And they haven't done much. They signed some guy called Roque Mesa from Las Palmas. I think Las Palmas were a surprise pack.
I was going to say, didn't Las Palmas overachieve as well?
Yeah. He's a midfielder.
He's bloody
I haven't got much else on him. Yeah, I agree on that. Or what is that moustache?
Whoa, he's 28 years old, mate.
28. So I don't know
Swansea,
what he's going to be like.
Doing?
11 million for him.
Well, I mean, 28 years old. I think Swansea needs some energetic youth rather than a 28-year-old Las Palmas player. I don't know. Tammy Abraham?
Cian Harris from Coventry. Undisclosed. Don't know who he is.
Not sure.
So I don't know, yeah. Tammy Abraham, he's a good young player from Chelsea.
I think I recognise his name, actually. Yeah, I was just about to say he's the one with the stupid hair.
He was the guy that was on loan to Bristol City last season. If it wasn't for him, Bristol City would have been relegated.
Right. Was he a striker?
He scored he scored like 25 goals in the Championship last season.
Oh, really? Okay, fair enough, Swansea. Well, they needed a striker because they're looking like they might lose Llorente, aren't they?
And they've lost Gomez, Bafétimbi Gomez to Galatasaray.
Was he gone, is he?
Yeah. And Modou Barra, I think he was one of those players that looked like he could do something and never really done much. He's gone to Reading for 1.5.
Jack Cork, Tremel.
Jack Cork, we discussed. Guy Chat, he wasn't very good, I don't think.
Boya Baston, Bafétimbi Gomez. They have lost a lot of players here.
Tammy Abraham is a Chelsea player that was wanted by all of the lower Premier League teams on loan.
Right. It doesn't surprise me.
He could be like Patrick Bamford, who come up in the Premier he was Player of the Year in the Championship. Come up to the Premier League, wasn't very good.
Yeah, that's true.
So you never know. I think that's it for Swansea. I don't think they've done much yet. I think there's definitely got to be more to come from them.
They've got to do way more yet for my liking, mate, to stay up, I think.
I might even have to change my predictions on them.
You can't now, it's set in stone.
Oh, fuck.
Tottenham, literally, done fuck all.
Nothing in. Again, they haven't needed to get much in.
They don't need to, mate. I think as long as they keep what they had, which they've done, because they've only offloaded a load of shit by looking at their outs, apart from obviously the big one, Kyle Walker, which they favoured Trippier over anyway. So to be honest with you, I think so far, although they haven't done any business, I think what they've done to keep hold of their players is good. Because let's be fair, mate, I'm sure they would have had bids for Kane. I'm sure they would have had bids for Son. Ali.
If you ask me, last season, even though Chelsea won the league, I would have said I would have put more Tottenham players in my team in the season than I would have put Chelsea players in.
Yeah, mate, I thought Tottenham players. I thought there's a lot of them that done very well. I mean,
I think Tottenham are as an 11. I would have said Tottenham are much better.
Yeah.
But collectively together, they play much better.
I think I would have liked to have seen them improve on wingers, like some big names for the wing.
They need something. But
and Lamela's all right, but I don't really like him that much. No. I don't think he's. I think he's like one of these players that thinks he's better than what he is. Son's very, very good, but he can play pretty much anywhere. But I would have liked to have seen him buy a big name winger. Obviously, there's still time. But I think if they buy a big name winger, I think that's all they need, mate. And obviously, I think another striker, not as good as Kane, because obviously Kane's going to be their front man that plays up on his own. But I think they need another one, mate, because that Janssen is terrible.
It's not very good, no. I mean, he was one of them one-season wonders. He scored 24 goals in Eredivisie when they signed him. 24 goals. I can't remember who he was playing for. he played in the Dutch national team and was scoring in the Dutch national team, which again is no mean feat. But
Yeah.
he's never done anything. So
He's done
I
nothing, has
think
he?
he's
Nothing.
no. I don't even think he scored. So well, I've just
I
got
think
one
he
of my
scored one. I
articles
remember him
on.
scoring one.
He
But I
might
think
score
it was
one
in
then.
the League Cup or the FA Cup. I was
Okay,
actually
then.
watching that game. And it was against lower opposition as well.
Yeah. Okay. One of the articles I got in here, which I think you might like, Maurizio Pochettino has revealed Alvaro Morata turned down Tottenham because he feared playing backup to Harry Kane, and they just paid 60, 70 million for him. So, you know.
Yeah. Unlucky Chelsea.
On to Watford. The one that sticks out to me, that actually is two of them, Nathaniel Chalobah
Yeah, I was just going to
from
say
Chelsea.
Chalobah.
He's another one of them. He's a centre back, centre midfielder, defensive midfielder, somewhere anywhere. He plays
He's a
in
good
them
player,
all
mate.
three,
I like this guy.
and he puts in 100%, and he's English. So
22-year-old, 5 million they reckon they paid for him.
yeah, because again, Chelsea didn't play him, and he wanted out because he wanted to play.
I
Good on
think
him.
that's a great buy for Watford, in my eyes. Great
And
player.
the other one that sticks out is Will Hughes. He's a guy that's been tipped to play.
Oh
for,
yeah, I know.
yeah, you know the one. He plays well for oh my Derby every season. Gets linked with Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal. Somehow no one puts a bid in for him. Goes on, plays well for Derby again gets linked. I mean, he was still linked with the top teams again in the Premier League, and no one put a bid in. Watford come in. I don't know how much. I think 10 million, something like that. They signed him for.
It's under closed this side. Let's have a look.
Undisclosed.
No,
undisclosed.
it's an initial 4.5 million plus add-ons.
Plus add-ons. I assume those add-ons will include sell-on fees and stuff like that. And
But
yeah,
4.5 is a steal.
Based, yeah. I mean, again, he's a good player.
13
obviously, they've
million
just
for Richarlison.
Richarlison. He's a Brazil
Fluminense?
under-20 star, subject to medical.
Okay, fair enough.
And obviously Andre Gray,
Andre Gray,
Andre Gray, who they just signed. I think Watford up for relegation.
Really?
Bollocks.
No, not with these guys they brought in. This is a bunch. I mean, Tom Cleverley as well. I think that's a good signing for Watford.
Yeah.
What are their outs like? Mario Suarez.
Mario Suarez, who never really performed last season.
And as for the rest of them, mate, they're all
Carlos
unknowns.
Paredes.
If you ask me, all they've done is literally strengthened. I definitely don't see Watford going down.
No.
Definitely don't see Watford going down. And they've bought all these players as well, so it's not like they're going to be there and then fuck off. They're going to be there and stay there. So I think Watford have done really well.
His contract was running down, which is why he was so cheap.
Right. Fair enough.
Said,
good business, mate, for Watford for me. I think they've done really well there.
Next up, we got West Brom. I've got 2 ins and no outs.
I've got 2 ins and a shed load of outs.
I assume those outs are going to be releases and whatnot, and loans and whatever.
Mate, a lot of them. Yeah. I've never even heard of half of them. So Craig Gardner's probably the biggest name I can see here.
Yeah.
As an out,
right.
He's gone to Birmingham.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, mate.
So we got ins Jay Rodriguez from
Great
Southampton.
Signing.
Again, he's a very good player. I mean, he was on the fringes of the England team, but unfortunately he got
injured.
It was a knee injury, wasn't it?
I think it was his
cruciate ligaments. Yeah. He was out for a season, come back and had some injury problems last season. But again, on his day, he can be one of the best players on the pitch.
Yeah, I think he's a great player. I think him and for me,
he's going to work well with.
I presume they're going to put him out wide, mate, because you've got Berahino that's going to play up top. You've got Rondon that's a beast up top. So I can only presume.
Berahino's at Stoke now.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, he moved in January, didn't he?
Rodriguez and Rondon up top, mate.
Yeah.
That is a decent West Brom strike partnership. I don't know a lot about the other guy they've got in on loan, Ahmed Hagazi.
Oh, I'm not sure about him. I've got Zhang Yuning.
Yeah, I see him as well.
He's supposed to be one of China's biggest prospects.
Well, all they've done is they've got him in, mate, and then they've loaned him back out to Werder Bremen.
Yeah, well, he was playing for Vitesse Arnhem last season. I think he was playing first team over all the shit that Chelsea loaned to them.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, he's
West
come
Brom
to
haven't done a lot.
They haven't done a lot, but they haven't lost anyone.
No,
They
well, apart from
finished
Fletcher,
top.
but I don't think that's too
Fletcher
much of
again.
an issue.
No. And again, they finished what, top half last season?
I think
they were
so.
mid-table-ish. Yeah. So again, that could be something I put them quite
Tyler
high
just
on.
put. Do you know what, Tyler?
Yeah, I
All
saw
your
that.
football was really intelligent, and then you come up with that nonsense.
So yeah, and then finally, we have made it to the last team.
It's only 10:30.
It's only 10:30. So West Ham, they have signed Javier Hernandez for 60 million. That's the big one.
Absolute steal, if you ask me.
If you ask
Absolute
me,
steal.
As a Man United fan, I would have never sold him.
No, I agree
Never
with you, mate.
sold him.
I think Man
He had
United
one
were
bad season
absolutely mental for selling him,
well, that was
especially in the
fucking-
same season you give Welbeck to us.
Yeah, that was Van Gaal in his infinite glory and wisdom.
I'll tell you what, mate. Javier Hernandez, I've been saying for seasons, I wish Arsenal would go and force Bayer Leverkusen's hand, because Javier Hernandez would have done a job for us when Giroud was not fit, and if we wanted a different avenue. For me, Hernandez to West Ham is an absolute steal at 16 million, because he's a 25 million player easy.
He's a 20 goal. Again, he's a guy that puts in 100% every game.
Although he is 29, so maybe not 25 million player, but 16 million, mate. 29-year-old. He's played in the Premier League, proven goal scorer in the Premier League from coming off the bench. I might add, because Man United never played him that often. Great signing. I can't wait to see him in the Premier League again, and he is in my dream team.
Yeah. Marko Arnautovic, undisclosed.
I've got it here as 25 million. I don't think he's a 25 million player, but he is a proven Premier League player.
He is a proven Premier League player, and he is a player that, again, puts it when he plays, I must admit, because he
can be lazy.
Off and on.
Yeah.
He can be lazy.
And he
if he
can
doesn't
be
think the game's
fiery
coming
as well, mate. Keeping him on the field is the next thing.
So yeah, he's a good player when he plays well.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think he's a good player.
Top assist for Stoke last season, so.
Oh, there you go.
You never know. Said Haksabanovic, he's a 17-year-old, I think, so he's one of them for the future.
I was gonna say I don't have him. Obviously we have got.
He's only just signed this, and Zabaleta, wasn't it?
Pablo Zabaleta and Joe Hart, both from Man City. I've got to be honest, great signings. For West Ham's namesake, Zabaleta's a great player. He's still got plenty of seasons in him.
So we got out Ashley Fletcher to Middlesbrough 6.5. They made million. They've made money on him.
Right.
They signed him from Man United last season. He played quite a lot, actually, more than what I thought he would. But he's not a Premier League striker. He's probably just about Championship, maybe.
Right. Okay.
Someone to Southend, Stephen Hendry, not heard of much of him. Havard Nordveit to Hoffenheim, I got undisclosed.
I've got
he
8
wasn't
million
the best.
Here. He's not that great, mate.
No,
I don't think they've lost too much there, mate.
Season.
Enner Valencia's probably the worst player they've lost there.
I mean, he put in an effort. I mean, he was never really appreciated, really. I don't think.
Who's that? Valencia?
Valencia. Yeah, I remember watching him in the World Cup.
I think he's a good little player.
In the World Cup a couple of years back, and he scored a goal, and he just jumped like the height of the centre back to get this ball and head it into the net. I mean, he always put in an effort.
Huddersfield will win the league. I wish Man United would, but they're not as good as Huddersfield. Foot champs, West Ham have strengthened massively and good for money, not overspent and solved some of their issues. I totally agree, Ads. I think West Ham have done some sick business here, and they've kept the majority of their squad. They're starting 11 anyway. I totally agree. Why did United sell him? No idea. That's a silly thing to do. United sold Hernandez for 9.2. That's so cheap, man.
Yeah, it was definitely worth more than that.
Well, finally, Jakey, we have
gone through the transfers.
So the next bit is going to be relatively quick, I think, which is the gossip. So this is stuff that is potential deals going on at the moment. It will be literally a quick run through this, guys, because we've run on quite a bit here.
We've run, yeah. So I'm looking at BBC's gossip column at the minute. The top story.
Looking at Sky Sports News because I prefer Sky Sports.
Yeah. So the top story I've got, and I think that's the one that's going to be running for quite a while, Coutinho to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Apparently, Liverpool have Barcelona are willing to up their bid to 120 million. I think someone said in the stream Liverpool rejected 90 million.
Yeah, I've
And
got
if I
that
was
here on
Liverpool-
Sky Sports News website now, mate. That Liverpool have actually rejected a 90 million. I'm not being funny, but 90 million is a good buy for Coutinho, and I think they should take it.
I would have accepted 70 million for Coutinho because, in my
I think
eyes,
Coutinho's a good player, mate. But
he gets praised more than what he is.
Yeah.
He's a player that will come out, and if Liverpool are playing crap, he will
is
come out
awful.
and be Liverpool's. Well, he would be Liverpool's best player on the pitch. There was times where he was rescuing Liverpool in games. He was coming out and he'll come and bang those 25-yard goals. But when Liverpool are playing well, he disappears.
Yeah, I totally
He sort
agree.
of hides.
He does go missing in games, mate. He's not as consistent. Well, he's certainly not 90 million consistent anyway.
No.
And they could so go and get another attacking midfielder. Let's be fair, they can buy anyone for 90 million.
Yeah.
Anyone they want. And they have still got Firmino as well, don't forget.
Yeah, I think they're looking at signing him as a striker, using him as a striker this season.
Right. Well, they need to do something. They ain't got no one up top, have they?
So what else have we got?
Welbeck they've got, but...
No. Yeah, but Liverpool.
Yeah.
Sturridge. They got
Sorry,
Sturridge.
Sturridge, not Welbeck. Twat.
He's injured himself in pre-season.
Oh, good. Well done, Sturridge. So they need a striker. So sell Coutinho, 90 million.
Get a striker.
Get a striker in. Spend the rest on another attacking midfielder, although you don't need to because you've got Firmino that can sit in that spot.
Yeah.
You could go and get a Aubameyang.
Could, yeah. But it's whether it's Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. I don't think Liverpool have done anywhere near enough of what they need to. I think the problem is as well, mate, is the manager. He is one of those players, managers that is extremely stubborn. He's like another Wenger, mate. I think Liverpool are in trouble, mate, because with having him in, I think that he will get them players, but if he generally believes that his team is strong enough, he won't buy anyone, mate. And I think that's a worry for Liverpool fans because they've not done anything yet this season, this transfer window, really. All right, they've got a left back in, but they need a striker. If Sturridge is injured again, they need a striker. They've got another winger. They needed a winger, so they've got another winger in Salah, which isn't too bad. But they've just got rid of Lucas Levy, so surely they need another holding midfielder as well.
So
I just don't think they've done anywhere near enough to even think about challenging for the Champions League next season. But all will be decided, I suppose.
Tyler Plays, breaking news. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi have gone to Brighton.
On free transfers. Dortmund want 135 million for Dembele.
That's the Ousmane Dembele's 20-year-old right winger.
He's a great player, mate, but that's basically just saying he's not for sale.
Yeah. I've got here Chelsea have launched a 25 million bid for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
I think 25 million is a decent price, but the thing is, mate, right? I think Chamberlain is going to be Arsenal's right wing back for a long time. I don't think we should sell him because if we get in someone like Mahrez, he won't be able to do that wing back role. So then what? Do you know what I mean? So I think we need to keep Chamberlain, and I think we need to give him whatever he wants, mate. To be perfectly honest, he's still unproven, yes, because he's not quite clicked. But he suits that right wing back role really, really well. And if he has a good season this season, mate, I say give him whatever he wants. Get him to sign a deal. Keep him where he is. Because this three at the back seems to be working for Arsenal. So, yeah.
Antonio Conte wants Chelsea to look at Tottenham's left back, Danny Rose.
I can't see Spurs getting rid of any more of their defenders this season.
No. Man City have made inquiries to Barcelona of Sergio Busquets.
Okay, good player.
Good player. I don't know if he fits Man City very well, but
neither do I. They've tried that sort of big guy that plays holding midfield. It doesn't really work too well for him, does it? But
Inter Milan have joined the race for Riyad Mahrez. Roma have had a £32 million bid turned down.
Apparently they've made a fourth bid according to Sky sources. Third bid of 32 was turned down. They reckon they've bid 40 million now. but I'm pretty sure that's what Arsenal bid for him. They turned that down.
Apparently Leicester want 50 for him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think Leicester are holding out for 50.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, after the season he had last season, I don't think they can ask for 50 for him.
No, but
we can
such as football, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I've got here on the Sky sources, Zlatan and United are in talks, apparently.
Yes, I saw that earlier on. Apparently they're looking at it because he's come back really quickly. I don't know if you've seen him. He's been doing some training and he's been jumping on
I
his
haven't
legs.
seen him or anything, but I have heard that the development that he's made is ridiculously good.
For what? I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but it didn't look very good.
It didn't look very good, did you say?
Didn't it? You know? Do you remember? I don't know if I sent you a picture. You remember when Kurt Zouma done it? He landed on his leg and his knee bent backwards.
Yes, sorry, I saw the. It was in the Europa League, wasn't it? I saw the initial fall. It looked horrendous.
I hate seeing when your knee goes back. Yeah.
Flawless reckons my Sky sources are wrong. I wonder why this is.
No, I think he's talking.
Oh,
about
he's on about Tyler.
PSG are ready to offer 80 million for Alexis Sanchez.
How can they afford anybody else?
Because, well, they're gonna. They should.
Do you know how they got past the financial fair play on that? Do you know how they got past it?
Because the team's owned by a country or something, isn't it?
No, because Neymar bought himself out of the contract, and they're basically going to pay him the wages of his contract fee over the 5 years of him being at PSG. What kind of nonsense is that? So basically, the financial fair play has literally just been pissed up the wall.
Yeah.
What a loophole. Fair play to PSG and Neymar for that one.
Yeah. Man United and Chelsea have received encouragement to pursue their deal in Serge Aurier, who's the 24-year-old Ivory Coast right back.
I thought they could get him over here because he was banned from England for something or other. I can't remember what it is. But he can't get a work permit. Because Arsenal tried signing him like 2 seasons ago, but we couldn't get a work permit for him.
I don't know the work permit rules. They're just, they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah, pain in the ass.
Negotiations between Everton and Swansea over a deal for Iceland midfielder Gylfi Sigurdsson have broken down, but any suggestion...
Well, they're looking at 50 million they want for him, isn't they?
Yeah, I don't think he's 50 million.
No.
I mean, he is...
Sigurdsson's a good player, but he's not 50 million.
Yeah. And I think...
Looks like Perisic... Man United have been after Perisic all season. Inter Milan have refused to drop their 48 million asking price. I mean, that is a lot of money for Perisic.
I wouldn't buy Perisic. He hasn't got the pace.
Why? When you've got Martial, Rashford, Mkhitaryan, Mata that can all play that position, I don't think Perisic is needed. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I don't think United need a winger. In my opinion, I think United need a holding midfielder. They got one. They've obviously got a centre half. I think United are pretty much set. You know, unless they buy like a massively big name again. You know, they've got Lukaku in. They needed a striker. I think United are alright, mate. I don't think they need Perisic. I think it would be money not well spent.
I think we do need a right back. That's something we do need. Cause
that's true.
Valencia's the best right backs.
And that frees him up. You've got another winger then as well, haven't you?
Yeah. The legal rules state that a player has to pay their contract out, not a specific club. So really, PSG have bent like 6 different rules.
So not just the rule that I said then. Another 6 as well. Wow, it doesn't surprise me. But talk about fucking trying to push a transfer through. I mean, Neymar must have been ridiculously unhappy to push that through. Like, you know. I
think he wanted to be.
He wants to be the starlet, doesn't he?
He doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to be.
He's behind.
He's behind Messi and Suarez. You know what I mean? He wants to be the starlight, doesn't he?
I mean, it's fair enough on him. He wants to be his own. I mean, he can't win that. Someone said, I watched this video, and some guy said it's fair play to him because he wants to win the Ballon d'Or. He wants to do something.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's never going to do that when he's hiding behind.
No,
Messi.
He's not.
But
what a weird thing to want to win, though. You know, what do you want to win, mate? Well, I suppose he's got everything else, isn't he?
He doesn't want to be recognised as winning all these trophies. He wants to be recognised for himself.
Fair enough. This is a funny one. Hernandez may not celebrate. I'm not being funny, but that's extremely confident from Javier Hernandez, isn't it? Javier Hernandez admits he doesn't know if he will celebrate a debut goal against former club Manchester United. He hasn't scored yet, Hernandez. You've got a few days to get injured yet, mate. But anyway,
that is as far as my gossip goes. I don't know if that's as far as your gossip goes.
I'm just gonna have a quick
Anything
blast,
interesting?
quick blast through just to see if we've got anything other interesting here. Apparently, PSG are the new favourites to sign Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah,
That's gonna go on all fucking season, though.
that's gonna go. Yeah.
Dembele's asking price. Barcelona, so they're basically telling Barcelona to cough up 135 million. I think they're only doing that because they know full well they've just gotten 100 and God knows how much from fucking
they just
Neymar.
got 200.
So, oh, talking of Soldado, he's heading to Turkey.
What a surprise.
He's off to Fenerbahce after Villarreal announced that he had reached a deal with the Turkish side. 10 million, 9 million pounds.
Yeah.
So he obviously was being lazy for them as well. Breaking news, Watford. Okay, so Andre Gay is definitely confirmed.
Andre, yeah.
That looks pretty much about... Oh, what's this about Emre Can? Emre Can is Juventus' primary midfield transfer target this summer. That's interesting. They don't want to lose him. In my opinion,
No.
I thought Emre Can done very well for Liverpool last season.
Very well for Liverpool, especially when they were pissing him around and playing him as centre back and playing him at right back. When he was centre midfield, then now they put them in there, he can perform now.
Wait, Liverpool looking at Lanzini if Coutinho goes? That's not exactly the greatest replacement.
Whose PlayStation is providing the background noise? It must be yours.
What, can you actually hear something?
Adam's just put it in the comments.
Marvellous. I don't know what it is. Hold on a minute.
Turn the sound up.
Oh, mine's not actually... No, mine's not making any noise.
No, I can't hear anything either.
Okay.
I don't know what Adam's... You just turned your PlayStation on, I've not realised. I don't know, because mine's on YouTube and that doesn't make any noise.
Yeah, no, I haven't done anything.
Pick up my game noise anyway. Yeah.
Mine's still sat on the home screen, and literally all I can hear when I turn it up is your voice. So, no, God knows.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So I think gossip column's done. Gossip column will be carrying on. I will be covering the Sky Sports one. Jakey will be covering the BBC one, and we will do. Obviously, this is going to be every Wednesday or Thursday. We're going to keep it up every. We're hopefully going to try and do it every Wednesday. So in every Wednesday show, if there's Thursday games or whatever, basically we should be able to cover the Champions League games and Europa League games as well if we do it on a Wednesday. So gossip column is done for tonight. And now we are in the predictions. Finally,
we're into the predictions.
This shouldn't take too long, to be perfectly honest, because I know we've got to jot down like a couple of things that neither of us have actually chosen a prediction for. We have done a few predictions just so we could get some screens up for you. So the first one is our Premier League tables. So this is what me and Jakey... Say again?
More breaking news, Chewy has a beard, Tyler plays.
Apparently Smiley can hear menu, is it? Will you be doing this again? Well, more football talk?
Be.
Yeah, we're going to try and do this every single week. We're going to try and, every single week, we're going to try and watch Match of the Day, and we're going to make notes of talking points in our opinions. We're going to try and like pick out great goals. I don't know what the ruling would be, but I'm going to see if we can even possibly get highlights of what we're talking about and maybe play them. I don't know how that will go, but we shall see. Maybe I'll be able to fix something up. As long as I put where I've got it from, I think I'm alright on the old copyright side of things. So we'll just have to see how it goes, guys. Obviously, this is work in progress. I think that these streams will only get better. They might not always be streams because I'm moving soon, but they will be recorded. So these will always come up, even if it's not live. And they won't always be as long as this, so you won't have to sit through all of this for nothing. Okay, so this is the Premier League predictions of the tables that both me and Jakey have gone for. So, as you can see, both me and Jakey think Man City will be the champions this season.
Yeah.
Jakey was smoking some crack cocaine while he was making this prediction. He thinks Man United are going to finish second.
I do, yeah. I think the main reason is last season Chelsea finished top, won the league, but they didn't have any European football, and they've got that this season. They haven't. That's
very true. I mean, that's actually a very, very valid point, mate. Last season, the season they did have Champions League football. They finished what, 11th, 10th,
something like that.
It was terrible.
Seasons back, yeah.
Although they didn't have Conte.
Yeah.
The Wednesday show. We're calling it the what are we calling it?
Was it Chewy and Jakey talking football or something like that?
That's it, Chewy and Jakey talking football, and we're gonna have a different episode name every week. So hopefully, anyway, we'll have to bang our heads together to figure out a new name every week.
Jakey is better, yeah.
Arsenal third, Spurs fourth. Yeah, I think as long as Arsenal keep everyone fit, I think we'll definitely finish in Champions League position. Spurs fourth for me, just because they've kept. In fact, both me and Jake have gone Spurs fourth. They've kept the same team.
They haven't improved.
They haven't improved. But I think they're definitely better than Liverpool at the moment. So I think they will get a chance. I mean, for me, Spurs and Man United are, to be honest, the first two I think are pretty much set in stone for myself. The three underneath that, I literally couldn't call who's going to finish above who. I think it's going to go down to head-to-head between Arsenal, Spurs and Man United. Like, in my opinion, those three teams, any one of those could finish third, fourth or fifth, in my opinion. I think the top two teams would be set in stone. That's my reasoning for that. It's literally because Spurs haven't improved. Man United have. That could make Man United better than Spurs this season. Man United could go fourth. But yeah, that's pretty much where I've gone with it. It's very difficult to predict the Premier League table because
it is really hard this season, I think.
You don't know who's going to get injured and stuff like that. But this is what we're going with, guys. This is what we'll stick with. This is what's been written down. For everyone that me or Jakey get right, we'll get 3 points for. So we'll see how that goes. If he gets Arsenal right, I'll cry. Flawless is disappointed on your thoughts on Spurs for both of you. Spurs have been contenders for the title. Well, they are. They're fourth.
That's the thing. It's hard to get.
The thing is, they haven't improved. Everyone around them has.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, I think, this season. Let's see what they do.
I do.
Yeah. So
isn't it funny how we've both put the opposite teams we support in fifth position? But we're both set in stone for sixth and seventh, by the looks of it.
Yeah. I mean, Adam's put what about Liverpool and Everton? Because Liverpool haven't really done much, but Everton have. Again, it's one of them things. I could have swapped those two around. I don't think Liverpool are up there with Arsenal and the rest of the teams.
Same here, mate.
I reckon those top five could go anyway, but I think Liverpool and Everton are two that are going to finish sixth and seventh, definitely. And again, it's how they perform at the end of this. You know, you don't know what's going to happen, and it's a good guess, I think. Again, we did this before we actually looked at these transfers. So
yeah, we did. To be fair, I would have definitely, as it stands right now, I definitely would have Everton above Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool have done enough. I really don't, especially if they lose Coutinho. They've not done enough for me. My Huddersfield prediction now of them going down is a little bit, again, because we just looked at the transfers, I would definitely have Huddersfield sitting above Newcastle at the moment, myself. And Burnley.
Yeah.
I think Burnley I wish was in my bottom three now because they've not done a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Watford I wish I'd put a little bit higher. They've definitely strengthened.
When I said to you, didn't I? I looked at it between West Brom on mine and Watford. I changed basically every team at least twice.
Yeah, mate, I was struggling so much.
There's going to be much between them.
Nah, I don't think there's going to be.
Got very good. I mean, Leicester brought in Iheanacho, but they. You
know what's really funny, Jakey?
Every team strengthened.
I hadn't looked at the transfers obviously in depth like we just have, And you know, after we looked at Swansea, you said, "Oh, can I not change my prediction now?" I've actually got Swansea there. Look, my Swansea are actually third from bottom.
Swansea is in the relegation. I know I've seen the thingies. I reckon Huddersfield is still going down. I reckon Brighton are going to be 17th. Obviously, because these are the predictions I made. These are the ones that are going to stick. I reckon Huddersfield are going to be 17th. Swansea are going to either finish. Swansea, Burnley, and Huddersfield, I reckon, are going down, and Brighton's going to be 17th.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that, mate. Now looking at the transfers and that, I would definitely agree that those three that you just said, Swansea, Huddersfield, and Burnley, are definitely the three that are going to go down. But as we've already predicted this prior to looking at those transfers, I think we'll stick with what we got here.
We got no changes.
No changes. Well, the only shameful thing about this is if any of the top teams actually go out and do something ridiculously crazy on the last day of the prediction or whatever, that could change our whole idea of who's going to finish first, second, third, fourth. But because obviously if Spurs go out and buy a ridiculously good striker or a ridiculously good attacking midfielder, you know, I mean, they've got Eriksen and Dele Alli. Do you know what I mean? But if they go out and do something crazy, I think that we would both probably pip them above or creeping up into that third spot, even higher. But we'll stick with this. This is what we've gone for.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. One of us gets quite a few of them right. I mean,
Hopefully,
literally, they are very, very similar. We're talking about a place.
Difference.
We're talking about. I mean, we've both got Leicester in the same spot.
The only major difference between us two is Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
That's the only major difference. I've got them 15th, and you've got them.
I think they've signed really well, though. You know, I think that's the only reason why I've pushed. After looking in the transfers in depth, I think they've signed better than I realised as well.
Yeah. But again, it's one of them things. We've done it before transfers, so you never know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with the Premier League as well, it doesn't matter about the transfers because injuries come along, bans come along. You know,
and again, the league is as such where any team can beat any team. We are locked in. We have the same disadvantage.
Yeah, we're locked in. This is what's locked in. We both had the same disadvantage. None of us cheated and went and looked at transfers prior to predicting this. It was literally off the cuff.
I had the knowledge of transfers I've seen.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, there's so many changes I made to it. I mean, my first actual draft, I must admit, I had Newcastle in 11th, and I'm like, no way.
Yeah, no way Newcastle finishing that high.
Because I forgot about them.
Okay, so what we got here? Why not Huddersfield first? For me, Spurs are at least third. It's hard. Everyone has a chance of winning. Yeah, Tyler's right there. How you both not got Swansea relegated? They have seriously screwed themselves. Only one. I've got Swansea relegated.
Going to be an interesting one, yes, for us.
They don't need to. Besides Trippier, they're a team is solid. Yeah, but everyone else is strengthened around them. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Everyone around them has strengthened in some way, you know, and definitely made themselves better. Spurs have not done that. Not enough to drop them out of the top four, I don't think, but definitely not enough to win it or get above those big money spenders in the top three. What's this? The three teams that will be relegated will be Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man City. The team that will win at Huddersfield, sadly. The team is great, but everybody else has improved. Yeah. In the end, we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be an interesting one. You're locked in. Arsenal finished fourth. Lukey reckons Arsenal will finish fourth as well. Fair enough.
Arsenal joke.
He's always up for a good laugh, isn't he? Okay, so that's our prediction for the table. This is something else we're going to be doing weekly, and that is Week 1 predictions. Okay, so this is just Premier League. We're only going to focus on the Premier League. I think it would get way too much for us if we started bringing in Champions League and anything else like that.
Yeah,
but what we will be doing is when it is a week off of the normal Premier League, when the FA Cup reaches the third round, we will do FA Cup third round onwards predictions.
Well, we have a pick of ties instead of, because even in the third round there's quite a few ties. So
we'll have a pick, yeah, mate. Yeah, what we'll do is, I mean, how many fixtures are here? 9? 1, 2.
That's 10 because it's the Premier League, isn't it?
So we'll just pick 10. And if what you want to do, mate, is we can pick 5 each. Probably be the fairest, wouldn't it? And we'll go from there. So when the Premier League is out, then what we'll do is me and Jakey will turn our focus to either what will be the League Cup or the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And who knows, next year when the FA World Cup starts, you might get a World Cup special.
Never know. Never know.
So that's basically the predictions that both myself and Jakey again predicted prior to the stream. So again, this is prior to seeing any transfer knowledge. This is literally just going off of our inclining. But let's be fair, guys. The first game of the season is always the most difficult to predict.
Yeah, because you don't know what form the teams are coming in on.
No, you don't know what form they're in. You don't know who's going to start out of the new signings. It's very tricky to figure out who is actually injured. And this was literally off the cuff.
Yeah,
so,
that's literally just first. I mean, I had a quick thought, double check the fixtures, had a look to see what was going on, and just went for it. Yeah,
same here, mate, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
Most results are, me and Jakey have fairly got the same team. What we will be doing is, again, a point system. If we pick the outcome correct, so say, for instance, we'll take the first fixture, Arsenal versus Leicester. If Arsenal win, both myself and Jake will win a point because we've got Arsenal to win that game. If we get the score correct, we'll get 3 points. So it won't be 3 points plus the 1 point. It will just be an overall of 3 points. So if Jakey gets the score correct and it's 1-0 to Arsenal, he'll get 3 points, but I'll get the 1 point for Arsenal winning the game because I've got them as winning the game. Obviously, no points for anything else. Basically, we will put a little table up just to let you see which one of us are actually in the lead at that present week. I mean, let's be fair, with that many fixtures going on, I'm pretty sure me and Jake are going to be leapfrogging each other
fixtures
constantly.
Possible of 30 points.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure we could leapfrog each other God knows how many times this season. It gets a little bit of banter, and I think it'll get you guys involved a little bit as well to see what sort of predictions we've got.
See what is happening.
And who knows, some of you might put some cheeky accumulator bets on our predictions. Who knows? Chewy, you just called me Tyler. Did I?
Chewy.
Sorry, Tommy. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Tommy.
Man City 3-0 and new teams usually start good in the new season. I've gone with the fact that Huddersfield were a team that were up. Oh, and it's not even Huddersfield they're playing. Who are they playing? Brighton.
Yeah.
All right. I've gone with a couple of seasons back. Swansea come up and Man City absolutely battered them. That was the season Michel Vaughan.
What you got to remember as well,
it's
Flawless,
be
is Man City always start very, very well.
Man City start very strong.
Yeah, and to be
that's
getting
one of the reasons why I've only got Leicester at 1-0.
Yeah, to be getting a newly promoted team from Man City straight off the bat, I think they're going to give them a bit of a kicking, mate, and welcome into the Premier League quite well. That's my opinion. Who knows? It could end up just being 1-0 to Brighton, which would I'd actually spur my pants a little bit.
I think Man United West Ham, I've put 3-2, I think, and that's going to score. I think it's written in the stars for him to score.
Well, he already thinks he's going to make, because we've just read that obviously he's not sure if he's going to celebrate.
Yeah, I think we're both looking forward to the new fixtures this week.
Yeah, I'm
very
looking
much
forward to it.
Glad footballers are not on this evidence. That would be a seriously bad idea.
Loving Chewy's Watford Liverpool score, just a little out, now. Yeah, I definitely agree that this was obviously prior to transfers, and after seeing Watford's transfers, I think that is definitely a fucking out there score. I'm pretty sure. I personally think now, looking at those Watford transfers, I think Jakey's going to hit the nail on the head with a draw on that one. To be honest, guys.
Okay. Oh, what's the next bit? Am
I
right in thinking is player honours?
Player predictions is what I've got it down as, but it is player honours. So this is going to be a live prediction. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to predict who we think is going to be the player of the season. Now, we're hoping there is somewhere out there that we can actually find these results.
at the end of the season, there's going to be the PFA Player of the Year, which is the Players Player of the Year. I
Okay,
would say that's possibly the most reliable one.
let's do that then. So I'll
Uh,
put it down now as PFA player.
yeah.
So go on then, JP.
So I've got the PFA Player of the Year is going to be Kevin De Bruyne.
De Bruyne. Okay.
And that's obviously staying because last season he was in really good form.
Yeah, he
And
was.
then he
To
got
be
injured
fair,
and he sort of dipped off when he
De Bruyne
absolutely
was
battered
very
Man
good
United.
last season. Who am I going to go for? It's a very tricky one. I think I'll have to go for Lacazette. I'm joking.
This is a very difficult one. I spent a little while thinking on it.
Do you know what, mate? I'm going to go with Lukaku. Because as
Lukaku?
much as I think he's a ridiculously overspent, he's got goals in him, and I think he's only going to go and score more for United. And he's not very injury prone, so I think he's going to be in your eyesight a lot. So I'm going to go for Lukaku.
Is this where I pretend I know about football?
Mr. Rage
How you
Good.
guys doing? I'm going well. I assume he's going well as well.
Yeah, I'm doing
let him
very,
answer.
very well, Rage.
Yeah, having a good time.
Flawless reckons Herrera.
Herrera. I mean, it depends again how he performs, isn't it?
I mean, literally, the PFA player is so hard to predict.
It's so hard, yeah, because it's one player out of the. If every team's got 20 players, 20
It's like-
times 20, that's 400
It's like
players we've got to choose
effectively
from.
picking top goal scorer of the season. You just
Yeah.
don't know who's going to get injured, who's going to play well, who's going to be on form. Just because Morata hit the corner flag against Arsenal on the weekend doesn't mean that he ain't going to
Could go out
bang
and
in
open
30
day of
goals
the
this
season, bang
season.
5.
Yeah. Right. So we've also got. So I presume it's going to be the young PFA Player of the Year. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you get to choose first on this one.
I do indeed. How old do
Will
they
you be
have
able
to
to choose
be?
the
What's the
same?
maximum age for the young player of the year?
I
Have you any
think
idea?
it's 23.
23.
I think it is, yeah. I'm not 100%. I think it's up to them whether they can win it. I mean, De
Who got
Bruyne
it
does
last
still
year?
fit into that. Dele Alli, I believe.
He's got a shout again, isn't he? Really. Do you know who I'm going to go for? And I know might be a little bit out there, and it might also be a little bit biased, but I'm going to go for Iwobi, man.
Iwobi.
Yeah, man.
Good shout.
He's been ridiculously good form for us in pre-season. If that carries on through and he carries on playing, if he carries on starting, I mean, did you see that turn he did in the box against Chelsea? He made Fabregas look like a right throb face.
I didn't know.
Mate, Iwobi's looking really good at the moment. It's a little bit of a biased vote on me,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go with Iwobi, I think. And
Fair
it's
enough.
a bit out there
Adam
as well.
just said 23 at the start of the season.
No, Iwobi's younger than that. I know he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's 22.
So my young player of the year, it's not very out there. You mentioned him, is Dele Alli.
Yeah. Going for Mr.
Dele Alli,
Dele.
yeah.
I think it probably will be Dele Alli. I'm just going for Iwobi for something different. Dele Alli, if he carries on the way he's going, mate, I think this will literally be the last time he plays for Spurs. If he plays well this season, I think he's got Real Madrid written all over his shirt, really, hasn't he? If he has another great season this season, I think he'll be off skis, mate. I think Real Madrid will just pay over the coin for him. Okay, and last but not least is the Ballon d'Or.
The Ballon d'Or.
Or however you spell it.
I have, whatever.
I mean, literally, it's going to be out of two.
It's going to be
isn't it?
Messi or Ronaldo. I've gone Ronaldo, mainly because Real Madrid won the Champions League.
I'm gonna go Messi then, mate. Because it's definitely not going to be Neymar.
Last but not least, I've also done another two more. I've got top scorer in the league and Golden Glove, which is the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets.
Yeah. Okay. So top scorer.
And I've gone again with the not very out there option of Harry Kane.
And Chewy is going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Lukaku again.
One. Lukaku.
Yeah. And glove.
Golden Glove. This is my first actual biased choice. I've gone David De Gea.
De Gea?
Yeah. Tommy Plays agrees with me.
De Gea? Man United champions this year? No.
Tommy Plays has come up with a really good shout.
Jesus is
Gabriel Jesus or
yeah.
Iheanacho for the young player of the year. I'm assuming that's what he's calling it for.
Isn't Iheanacho 25 though? Did we not read that earlier? As
no,
being 25? Oh no, it's 25 million, wasn't it?
25 million. Yeah, he's not much. I think he's 20. If he's 1 year above Rashford.
Joe, Iheanacho is a fucking shout, actually, mate. Oh well, we've already locked it in now.
I will let you change if you do wish to change.
No, I'm sticking with Iwobi.
No, you're sticking with your guns. That's why if he gets games.
I'm going to go Pickford.
Pickford?
Yeah, because I reckon with the back four being strengthened as well with Keane and whatever else, I think Pickford's only going to do even better than he did last season. So yeah, I'm going to go Pickford for glove.
That is the goalkeeper that concedes the lead. Has the most clean sheets in the season.
What's that?
The Golden Glove.
Yeah, mate. I think
yep.
Behind Everton's back four, I think he's got even more chance of saving stuff purely because he's probably not going to be as busy, you know. I'd love to see what the goals to saves ratio or goals to shots ratio was on him last season, mate. Because I mean, we peppered him, and I think only scored 3.
Yeah, I mean there was lots of games where he done quite good. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting season.
Indeed, and that is it, guys. That is it.
That
wrapped up.
Yeah, I mean we're just. In fact, when did we start? We started at 8:15. It's 11:05. So we 2 hours 50.
Let's just say that Chewy and Jakey can definitely talk football.
We've talked.
We've talked the hind leg off a donkey about football.
Okay, and yeah, so I must admit I am very excited for this Premier League season.
I'm excited for the Premier League season. I'm really excited the fact that we've decided literally just in the nick of time to make a football show. Again, I think the football show is only going to get better. I think highlights, or at least like if we're talking about a particular goal, just a little clip to let you see what we're talking about. I'm sure there won't be an issue with that.
I think we just need to clarify that we don't own the clip.
Yeah, I think if we just make sure that we do not own the clip, I think it's all the monetization thing though, because if we don't own the clip, I don't think we can monetize. But we'll have to figure it out because I've got obviously we'll have to figure it out. I'm sure. Watford not to come bottom 3.
Neither of us had
Watford to come bottom 3, Danny boy. We're actually very impressed with Watford's buy-in this year. We think they've signed very, very well and strengthened very well. We think that they're going to do very, very well. In fact, I will put it up for you now. Oh no, I want that one.
League prediction.
There we go.
Sure, you get this right with Pickford. You will be a genius.
Well, I'm just adding up 2 and 2, and I'm getting about 70. So I'm just going for something a little bit different. You never know.
Might have to start a week earlier next year just to do predictions and start on the transfers.
Yeah.
But I mean, I messaged you on Sunday during the Charity Shield or Champion Shield or whatever it's called now. I messaged you saying, "What do you think about doing something to do with football?" And you went, "Yeah, sounds like a good idea, doesn't it?"
Yeah, I really like it.
Last season, we had a chat whilst playing Rocket League.
We was already like halfway through the season, though, weren't we?
I think we must have done two then, because we did one right at the end of the season where we were discussing Leicester's champions and them losing all their players or whatever, and we've done that.
That's true, actually. That's very true.
Still hate our Bournemouth for hire.
Literally, both of us have got Bournemouth higher as well. Do apologise, Danny boy. To be fair, mate, these predictions were made prior to seeing the full extent of Watford's transfers. I think that we're both in agreement that we believe they're going to be pushed right up there now. I think,
in my opinion, I think Bournemouth would be higher than Watford, which
Bournemouth
I know Dan's not going to be happy with.
Bournemouth have played
well.
They've bought well as well. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, we're both pretty much gutted on the old. Well, Jakey's gutted he didn't put Swansea in the bottom three.
I'm very gutted. So yeah, the only thing that I didn't put Swansea in the bottom three is because last season under the manager they finished very strongly, which is what kept them up.
That's
and I thought
true.
he was going to be clever, and yeah.
Well, yeah,
so
he hasn't been clever,
know.
has he? He hasn't bought fuck all.
Yeah, he's bought fuck all. He bought a 28-year-old from Las Palmas.
Terrible. Wait, he was 29, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Attacking midfielder. They've lost strikers. Potentially going to lose Fernando Llorente as well. And he's bought an attacking midfielder.
Yep.
Very well done. See you later, Swansea. Get back up down in the Championship, you bums.
Chewy, you all have those weird choices of Andres Pereira as Man United Young Player of the Year, and he's probably going on loan. What?
Weird choices have Andres Pereira as Man United Young Player. He's probably going to go on loan. Burnley to relegate is a good shout. They sold everyone and signed downgrades. Yeah, we weren't massively impressed in Burnley's transfer. I mean, to be fair, mate, my Burnley prediction, as I say, these are both prior to going through the full extent of transfers. I think you might be right, to be honest, mate. Yeah, I think
Swansea.
I think Brighton I think Brighton probably saved themselves. I think Burnley might go down. It's very difficult. I think Burnley's. I don't know.
I mean, we made these earlier on.
Yeah, we made these earlier. We've locked them in anyway.
Basically.
We're not changing them. We're keeping them as they are. Just purely to see how it goes. I think what we'll do next season is maybe get to like this sort of point, like 2-3 days before the transfer window. Before the Premier League starts again, but have a full extent. Obviously, because we're going to be doing this all the way through the season, our football knowledge is going to be probably ridiculously good. So I think we'll be in a much better stead to actually give a fair and proper league prediction, because we'll probably be already updating you on what we think good transfers and bad transfers have been all the way through the transfer window. So obviously this is just a mock-up at the moment. Hopefully this series keeps going. Me and Jakey are hoping so too. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's something completely and utterly different.
It is
to what I usually do, and to what Jakey usually does. Obviously, most of you have seen Jakey on the MonStars channel streaming. This also we're going to put this up on the MonStars channel as well. Every episode will be put up on the MonStars channel as well, so we can keep it going on both channels. So yeah, guys, I mean, we'll probably be tuning in next Wednesday, and we'll have what we thought was good and bad points. We'll have plenty of notes that we're going to write down while watching Match of the Day. We're going to be talking about pretty much everything, guys. Like, we thought it was offside, or that wasn't a red card. You know, we're going to be talking about as much as physically possible. Oh my God, Lacazette's injured. Who saw that coming? You know, we'll be pretty much talking about everything, guys. And hopefully at some point, Jakey might even have a webcam. If he gets a webcam, then we might actually be able to get both of our faces live, so you can see us live, rather than just having our mugshots on there instead. But we'll probably still keep in the same little corners, but I'm hoping at some point we might be able to have live cameras. And obviously the backgrounds will probably become better as well, probably get a bit more. Because this was literally, I knocked this up literally about
as we started
20 minutes before the stream. Yeah, I literally just done a couple of background screens. Because although we were talking about it, we didn't have like a run of play that we were gonna do. Can you link the MonStars channel? Yeah, sure, Tommy.
Is it the top link in the description, isn't it? If you don't find me here, then I might be on the MonStars Gaming Channel, and if I'm not, someone will be here on here. Here is the link. Check it out.
It looks like you are correct there, Jakey.
It is on there.
Yeah, there it is. Control C. Go back. And there you go, Tommy. So that is the MonStars Gaming Channel. Check Chewy's channel recommendation or check the description. Awesome stream, lads. Glad you enjoyed it, Tommy. It's been fantastic to have you stick around the whole thing, mate. I mean, this is the reason why we're definitely going to be carrying on. Don't think Swansea have pool players. This is definitely why we're going to be carrying on with this. Like, as you all know, young lads, teenagers, adults, grown men, granddads, everybody loves a bit of football.
Everyone does.
Me and Jakey like to think that our opinions are fair opinions. I think that me and Jakey are probably two of the least biased supporters of both of our clubs, as much as I know Jakey absolutely adores his Man United. He's got Man United shirts coming out of his arse. I'm a massive, massive Arsenal fan. Again, near enough every single shirt for the last God knows how many seasons. But we both are very unbiased. You know, we're football fans first. I think that's probably the best way to describe me and Jakey is we're football fans first before we're Arsenal, Man United fans. We just love the game of football. So as soon as Jakey come to me with this idea, I was on board from the word go. It was just more banging our heads together and coming up with what we wanted to get from it. And I think it's gone amazingly well. I mean, the minimum we've had watching tonight, Jakey, is 6. That's pretty good. We had like 12 watching at one point. We've had a constant 7 for the majority of the stream.
Yeah, we are.
You two are actually very unbiased, which is good though. You don't want to be coming here and all you hear is Arsenal this, Man United this, Arsenal, because that doesn't make it interesting. It doesn't make it fun. Because what about Liverpool fans? What about Chelsea fans?
Well, I feel sorry for them first, mate.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Chelsea fans, especially after that Community Shield game. But that's the thing is, if Chelsea play awesome on the weekend, then we will say, Jesus Christ, Chelsea look good.
They look good.
Do you know what I mean? And that's exactly it. And whenever I've spoken to Jakey about Man United, if they've been shite, he's the first one to say, yeah, we were terrible. I don't know how we managed to get that win. And I'm the same with Arsenal. In fact, I'm probably Arsenal's biggest critic than any other non-Arsenal fan out there. What about Newcastle fans? Even Newcastle fans can join in this season rage because, believe it or not, Newcastle are back in the Premier League. And both of us think they're going to stay there by the looks of it. Nobody cares. Trust Daddy boy.
I think with the Premier League in such, we've made these predictions. I mean, between us, we've got 1, 2, 3 teams that are finished. We got finishing in the same position out of 20 teams. And I think if we had if we were following another league like Liga or something like that, it'll be easy to predict where some of the top teams are going to finish.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so hard, especially without even looking at transfers or anything, to get where people think might happen.
I mean, I got to be honest with you guys, I didn't even realise Watford had signed Andre Gray before starting the stream. So that was literally
done today.
Yeah, so that is literally how not up to date I was before making those predictions. We wanted it to be raw. We wanted it to be true. I hope we've come across like that. And so far, it's been an absolute smashing stream.
It has.
9 people watching now. 24 people have liked. There's no dislikes, which is unusual. So, I mean, with that in mind, that just gives me... I mean, to be honest with you guys, if there was only 2 of you in, as far as me and Jakey are concerned, we've got such tunnel vision now of we're going to do this and try and make it a regular weekly show. that it wouldn't have mattered how many of you guys are in, but it's been absolutely fantastic that the first show has gone really, really well, and it's literally backgrounds and that are all knocked up. 3 hours as well. A constant 7 people for 3 hours.
As I say, it was Sunday. It was Sunday when we come up with this idea. Looks like Danny Boy's just.
I knew Danny Boy would. As soon as I mentioned it, I was like, "Fuck, Danny Boy's still here. He's gonna fucking dislike, isn't he?"
Yeah, we come up with this idea on Sunday. We've just been bouncing ideas around for the last
Jakey,
few days.
Can we just quickly answer Tommy Plays' question on Fellaini?
What do I think about Fellaini? That there is one thing I'm biased about, and Fellaini is that thing. Well, I mean,
you and Monkey,
if you class as a Man United fan, I think he's a bag of crap. He definitely wasn't worth the money we paid for him. He's more of a liability than a player that's useful. He's only there to hoof the ball up to and get his stupid afro on it. I mean, at the end of the day, we were playing Hull. Hull had been relegated. And he just went in, studs up on this guy. I think it was Paul McShane, cut open his leg, elbowed him in the face, got sent off, and then had a go at the referee when he got sent off.
I remember that.
Like, excuse me.
I remember that. And he is fucking
like
terrible.
3-0 up or something. I don't. Yeah.
He's
I mean,
terrible.
when he was at Everton,
Monkey loves him. Flawless loves him. Look, he loves Fellaini. As a non-biased Man United fan, and obviously, again, as you've just heard there. Doesn't matter that he wears a Man United shirt. You know, Jakey's a very unbiased Man United fan. As I say, we're football fans first. And I think Fellaini's terrible. I generally don't believe that Fellaini would have ever in a million years pulled on a Man United shirt under the words of Ferguson. I believe that Fellaini is literally only... Yeah, fair one. Fellaini has literally only ever pulled a Man United shirt on because of David Moyes.
And that was a panic buy.
And I think it was right. It was a panic buy. No, Moyes couldn't get anybody in because his name wasn't big enough. Man United obviously was still a big club, but no one really knew Moyes as such, especially from the rest of Europe. He knew he could get Fellaini in. He needed a holding midfielder at the time. That's the only reason why Fellaini still pulls a Man United shirt on now. Why Mourinho rates him and puts him in the squad is beyond me, because he doesn't seem the sort of player that Mourinho would like. However, Mourinho does like... That's it. He does. He has signed Matic.
Like big players.
He does like big players that hold the ball up because he plays his stupid fucking Route 1 football. But there we go. That's our Fellaini done. I do think we overpaid for him, but I think he's an outside player. That's where he should play, outside Old Trafford. I don't think he should ever... I don't think you should. I think you're right, Monkey. I'm glad you've finally seen the light and have decided that Fellaini should play his football anywhere outside of Old Trafford, preferably at the City Ground, or whatever the fuck they call it, Etihad. He's terrible, man. He is absolutely terrible. I'm not a fan of him at all.
Yeah.
But then I'm not a fan of some of the Arsenal players. Özil for one. I think I'm probably Özil's biggest hater as an Arsenal supporter. A lot of Arsenal fans, he can't do anything wrong. For a player that gets paid the amount of wages he does, and he can't even be bothered to run back,
25%
he
of
is
the time.
Awful. Going forward, the guy busts an absolute gut. It reminds me of young players of today that I play with locally. Like, they will bust their ass to get forward, but when it comes to the nitty gritty, they don't fancy it. It pisses me off. Can we take... you can have him, Danny Boy. Like, literally, if I was Arsene Wenger or the manager of Arsenal, I'd just give him to Watford. I'd say, yeah, I'll have him. I don't even want him anymore. What about money? No, you can have him. In fact, I'll pay you to take him off me.
I wouldn't go that far, I don't think. I'd do that with Fellaini.
Yeah, fair one. I mean, Özil can assist at least. He's just terrible going back, mate. He's not a team player, you know what I mean? He's all about Özil. He's not about the team. He's all about Özil. It fucks me off. But right, anyway, guys,
that's a different thing.
That is a different thing. We are gonna call it a day now. Gonna stop the stream here. Thanks a lot for sticking by, especially yourself, Tommy. You've been here for a hell of a long time. So's Flawless. It's much appreciated, guys. It hasn't gone unnoticed, and we're to be honest with you, I think it makes us even happier that we've gone with this idea. For the fact that so many of you have tuned in to have a little look, see what we're up to.
Yeah.
So we'll be carrying on. Thanks a lot for your support, guys, from both me and Jakey. Again, this whole stream will go up on the MonStars channel as well. There's no point in editing anything out because obviously it doesn't keep it raw if that's the case. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
We will see you for definite next Wednesday. And hopefully I'll see you beforehand with some gaming stuff. But yeah, from me and Jakey, bye-bye for now.
See ya.
See you later, guys.